Water.
Earth.
Fire.
Air.
For the longest time, the four nations have lived together in harmony. Under the wise leadership of Avatar Roku, the world has experienced an era of peace and prosperity unlike any other. But with the recent death of Avatar Roku after his volcanic island erupted, members of all four nations feel the winds and tides of change. With the search for the new Avatar only just beginning, the world seems poised on the brink of conflict. But without the Avatar, who will save the world?
My name is Bree, also known as PrettiPixel, and I am playing Shurva, a warrior from the Fire Nation.
I'm Andrew, also go by Lucifer. I'm playing Firebender that goes by Mako Bao.
Hello, I'm Ali, and I'm playing Oki, a waterbender from the Northern Water Tribe.
I'm Brandon, and I'm Rung-Bolo, an earthbender from the Earth Nation.
Hey, I'm Dave, and my character is Al, the airbender from the Air Nomads.
And I'm Owen, the dungeon master of this ragtag group of members of all four nations. Hello!
Hello!
Hello,
Hi.
everybody. Hello. A bit of a delay there from our Earthbender, but that's okay. It's in keeping in character. How are you guys doing? Welcome back to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and we are playing Avatar Legends. Now, Dave is not with us tonight. He still hasn't come back from his little holiday away, so he will be joining us, I think, the week after next. So, podcast listeners, you won't see, you won't hear Dave's voice. YouTube watchers and Twitch, you'll see that his camera is just the static image of his face. Unfortunately, Andrew last minute had to jump out of tonight's session. He was going to be here, but I think he's had something come up pretty urgently, so he's had to run out and deal with that. So we won't have Andrew here tonight either, but that's okay because Brandon is rejoining us. First time back in the new year. Welcome.
Yay!
Got our
How
Earthbender
has it
back.
been? Like 1 month, 2 months?
It's been about 3
Like
months.
it's been 5 ever.
Been about 3 months,
Longer
yeah.
than-
It's been a
Wow,
while. So we're
that's
back.
been a while. I'm sorry, everyone.
It's been a hot minute, but we're back. Now, obviously, huge thank you to everybody who came and joined us for the Tyranny of Dragons stream last night, episode 102, which is insane. The stream that started the Lost Archives, or the campaign that started the Lost Archives, is actually coming to a close. That was probably the second last episode. I think next week will be probably our second or last episode of that campaign forever.
Now they'll
Very
figure out how to
close.
fuck around.
Not yeah, I mean they will probably delay it, but I mean they've not got much options. They've literally entered the chamber where they are facing off against Tiamat. There's not much fucking around they can do at this stage. They've kind of committed. They're facing up against a god, so it's been pretty intense. But yeah, Tyranny of Dragons will be back again next week, and obviously no Curse of Strahd this week. I was away on the Monday, so we will have Curse of Strahd coming back to us on the Monday next week. Now this Saturday is a pretty exciting event. We have the Greninja raid on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, so Archie and I are definitely going to be absolutely smashing that raid out. I know as well Jared and Matt were keen to kind of join us for that raid as well. Anyone else? You've got Pokemon, don't you, Brandon? No, Ali has Pokemon. You just sort of occasionally
Pokemon
like
growing up.
look at her
I tried to hop into it. I'll look at it and like, oh, cool, that's a Wobbuffet.
Well,
I know nothing.
Indeed. Well, look, Ali will probably be joining us for the Greninja raid on Saturday morning for a little bit, so that'll be super exciting. Yeah,
I'll be
so-
there.
Cheer in the
Yep,
background.
I know. I said before, you and I'll be smashing it out like we do every one of these raids.
Oh,
What's your
yes.
Pokemon, Archie? What have you trained up?
I've got 2,
Ooh,
so I'm prepared either way depending on what direction we go in.
okay. What are your 2
I've
Pokemon?
got-
I'm keen.
I've got the Lucario fully
Yep.
leveled up, and then I've got that one that's not Lucario.
Clodsire,
No, not Clodsire. The weird.
Gastrodon.
Nope, the other one. I forgot its
Sounds
name.
like medication.
It does,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, I'll take Gastrodon for my heart.
I take Gastrodon. When I have heartburn, I take Gastrodon. That's okay. You don't have to find out now. Actually, we'll figure out what Pokemon it is. But
Calarix or something. Calarix.
Calyrex.
Toxapex.
Toxapex. Okay, I was gonna say Calyrex, isn't that like the legendary from the DLC of Sword Shield, like the
Yes,
Crown
it is.
Tundra?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. I was pretty surprised you had that. That makes sense now that you don't. Well, no, that's super exciting. Yeah, no, so we're super keen for that. It's going to be lots of fun. So yeah, Saturday morning, come join us for the raid. Obviously, if you've got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and you want to join us, we're going to do a couple of the raids if possible. We're going to try and do as many as we can. So, excuse me, if you wanted to join us and actually join in, we will be on the Discord talking. So jump into the Lost Archives Discord and you come join us there. And we'll help you. Hopefully
Join
help you
whenever.
catch. Yeah, we'll hopefully help you catch.
Hopefully
Greninja.
help you.
Hopefully. But tonight, we're playing Avatar Legends, so let me do a recap. It'll have to be a pretty detailed recap for Brandon, because I'm guessing you didn't listen to the last episode. He's looking pensive.
Yes.
Is that a yes you
You're
did, or
correct.
yes you didn't? I am correct. Okay, I thought so. That's
No,
okay.
you're correct.
So I played as
I'm sorry,
Rung.
bud.
I played as Rung last Thursday, so I had you do some stuff.
I'm sorry.
No, all good. I was keen to hear if I'd got Rung exactly right, but I guess you'll have to listen and let me know in the future.
It was all helpful stuff, though.
Yes,
It's mostly
no.
helpful. So then I didn't play him very well.
That's abnormal. yeah. Not wrong.
Exactly. Alrighty, so our story has been following Shurva and Mako of the Fire Nation, Rung of the Earth Kingdom, Oki of the Water Tribe, and Aal of the Air Nomads. The children of important ambassadors of each of the four nations, they have been attending a historic summit at the Beifong Estate. With the recent death of Avatar Roku following the eruption of his volcanic island home, omens of war and conflict seem numerous. The team are currently on the trail of the four elemental spirits in an attempt to calm their rage and undo the damage done by a careless wish made of the whale spirit of the Siwong Desert. After locating and appeasing the Arctic fox spirit of the Northern Water Tribe, the group have travelled south, past the walls of Ba Sing Se and to the Eastern Air Temple. After meeting with Sister Tucker, teacher and mentor to Aal, the group have learned the Storm Bison spirit has surrounded itself in a powerful storm which is now devastating the lands around the eastern coastline. Initially insistent that the group must stay behind to allow the airbending masters to deal with the threat, Sister Tucker's mind was swayed when Aal revealed his new cloud-bending abilities to her. Knowing that powerful winds, deadly lightning blasts, and icy rain would be blocking their path to the bison, the team have devised a pretty dangerous plan. While Aal and the other airbenders hold the clouds and winds back to create a tunnel to the spirit, the rest of the group will attempt to reach the eye of the storm. Clearly, this plan required a great deal of preparation, so while Aal and the other airbenders headed off to practice their approach, the rest of the group decided to explore. While Oki, Ahini, and Rung went to explore the outer temple grounds, Mako, Shurva, and Aquila went looking for a library. Meeting an elderly air nomad librarian, Nomu, the group traded some food in exchange for guidance to the library and on where to find information useful to them. While Mako went looking for information on leadership and Aquila looked for references to spirits, Shurva found herself growing bored with book reading. A shout soon broke the quiet of the library, and as the group rushed out, they found what appeared to be a bloodstain leading to the edge of a canyon, where Nomu had been sitting enjoying his berry tart. After fetching Rung and earthbending down to the bottom, the group discovered a tunnel through the canyon leading to a small clearing on the other side of the mountain home. Several Earth Nation-looking bandits were busy stuffing Nomu into a cage, which was soon lifted into the sky by a sky bison ridden by air nomads wearing strange dark orange and black robes. We left off as the four of you, Rung, Aquila, was Mako with you? Mako was with you. Mako and Shurva were peering over the edge, sort of watching this unfold, and one of the Earth Bandit scouts turning around and going, "Oi, what are you lot doing there?" We are going to jump straight back in, and I'm actually going to fling you guys not into initiative per se, but into a timed kind of series of events because things are a little bit tense, and I will change the music to reflect that. As you guys are standing I'd say crouching over the edge of this small outcropping and hearing these guys yell out like, "Oi!" What would you guys do really quickly?
A shout back.
Okay.
Just
What-
like a not a startled
guttural?
shout, but a startling, like just trying to scare them back, like you do if like you're attacked by a bear.
Just like, "Ah!"
Like a
Yeah, like
Okay.
a
Put your hand up and you make yourself
powerful
big.
roar.
Okay. So Aquila does a powerful roar back. Aquila, could you please roll me with Intimidate, just to see how powerful and roary your powerful roar is. While Aquila is doing
and
that.
Rory.
Yeah, powerful
Easily.
roary. Shurva and Rung, what would you two be doing? Marco's going to immediately fill his hands with fire and turn to you guys and go, "Burn them?"
I pretty much grab my whip straight off of my hip and like get into a fighting stance pretty much. Like just get ready for whatever happens next.
Rung.
I just want to quickly recap. My brain's slow.
Yep.
But it's pretty much so. We're trying to get to the air spirit essentially.
Yeah.
Trying to get
So
there, these earthbends stopping us to getting there.
Well, so you guys
journey.
You guys know that like to reach the Sky Bison spirit, you're going to need a number of the air nomads to help hold back the damaging winds. And Arl's cloud bending is kind of the only way you're going to be able to get close to this spirit, as it's surrounded itself in this massive vortex, this whirlwind and vortex of storm clouds. Problem is that the air nomads, they haven't really dealt with cloud bending for a very long time. It's a very rare trait amongst the air nomads, this special type of bending. So Arl has sort of agreed to kind of show what he's doing and to incorporate that into their plan. So while that's happening, you guys were given sort of like half a day to kind of explore the temple grounds. Mako, Shurva, and Aquila decided to go looking for a library. They met with this old librarian, Nomu, who showed them around, gave them
Mr.
access to
Library.
information. Mr. Library is what they called him. Gave him access to some information, and then in exchange they gave him a berry tart. And then he went out on the front steps of the library, started enjoying his berry tart. They went inside. A few moments later, after they'd done a bit of reading and exploring, they heard this sort of strangled shout and went to go investigate, and all they could see was this sort of reddish stain leading towards the edge of the canyon. On the other side of the library, and then what looked to be maybe part of his cloak or some orange robes down at the very bottom of the canyon. They went back to try and get Mango before Mango just would not listen to their commands due to some very poor attempts at flying with Mango. They then went and found you, Rung, to earthbend them down, because there's a very narrow pathway down the canyon, but it's very dangerous. They got you to earthbend some stairs. When you guys all got to the bottom, you were able to find a tunnel leading down the bottom of the canyon towards a small clearing on the other side of one of the mountains. And that's where you saw these Earth Nation bandits essentially kidnapping Nomu, throwing him in this cage, and then the cage being picked up by a sky bison and some air nomads that look a little bit different. Rather than the bright orange and yellow robes, very dark orange and black. And they all have this like black sash sort of mixed in with their robes, this black stripe along their robes. They then took off with Nomu. You've not met this guy yet, Rung, but these guys seem pretty attached to him. And that's when the bandits kind of turned around and went, "Oi, what are you lot? What?" As you were sort of standing up looking over the edge of this small outcropping.
So it's like a murder mystery kidnapping side quest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, cool.
Except for
Makes
the
more sense
algorithm,
now here
for
in
the
some
algorithm,
time.
I can't use the word
Really
murder.
appreciate it.
So
Yeah, obviously. It's a kidnapping side quest.
We were just talking about the crows, the murder
it's
of
a
crows
mysterious
that flew over their heads.
disappearance.
He unalived.
Yeah.
Cluedo.
Okay.
A Knives Out mystery.
I haven't watched any of them yet.
They're actually pretty good.
Really?
No, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Both of them.
I might do it.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
It's a good easy watch.
Good easy watch. I just want to double check this one here. Ooh, okay. That's not what I meant to do just then. I was trying to see if it actually
Roll
told
with
me the thing.
afraid. So you're so Rung. These guys like barreling towards you. These guys look tougher than you. They look stronger than you. You just shit your pants. No. I'm kidding. I know it was an accidental mistake.
I was like, okay, when I call someone out, what's it mean again? I'm just like,
Do you want to try and call them out?
just look at these dudes here. Yeah, I just want to like, as they're like, what are you doing here? We'll call out to those guys like, wondering why you guys are nicking people, and just like trying to do that sort of thing at them like that.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
Absolutely.
kidnapping.
Yeah. So to call someone out. Let me just quickly pull it open. So when you call someone out, you're essentially using your. So it's a balance move. So are you balanced?
I have a +1 to force. I'm not balanced, right? Oh wait, am I? Yeah, that's the purple
So that's okay. So you can
one.
shift your
Yeah,
balance away
yeah.
from center. So in that case, then you're going to be shifting your balance towards higher force. Yeah, roll with your principal. So roll with their principal. So you're opening. So you guys don't know. You don't know what their principles are at this stage because you've just met them and they haven't said any words to you yet apart from "oi."
This is crazy.
So you can give it a go. What principle do you think? What do you think their principle is? Like, what do you think their
Would be like about harmony. Like you mean like they're like harmony, like creativity.
So
or
the
like
principles are
their
things
that sort of sounds
like
cool.
no. So principles are things like tradition. what are some of the other ones? Let me pull it open. Tradition, leadership, empathy, forgiveness, duty. So it's essentially the balance, what they're balanced between. So now your balance is between force and
care. Yep. So I could call out their. What was that? The other one wasn't leadership. It was. Sorry, this is not how I like to do things. I'm sorry, guys, everyone.
No, all good.
It's been forever.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been 3 months. It's been 3 years. I'll call out their. Oh God, well, it wasn't leadership. It was the other one. I need to pull up that journal in a second to actually go through them all.
There's quite a long list. Do you want me to?
There's a couple.
Do you want me to read them all
Please.
out, or just name a couple? I don't know if I'm ready to read them all.
Flick it over to me, Susie.
All right, hang on. Let me pull.
You can
them
flick
all
it
out.
over to me if you want, or just.
Here we go. I can find them all here. Maybe.
It was like duty, I think.
Yeah,
there one,
there's
like, say,
duty. Yeah, duty's definitely one. Yeah.
Let's do that. Keep it simple.
Yeah,
I'm fine
try
with
and call
this.
out duty. Absolutely.
It's a test run.
Here we go. So you've got action, ambition, care, community, compassion, confidence, connection, control, courage, creativity, cunning, determination, discipline, dominance, duty, empathy, excellence, experience, force, forgiveness, freedom, friendship, heritage, honesty, honor, humility, justice, kindness, knowledge, leadership, loyalty, order, patience, peace, progress, redemption, restraint, results, role, self-reliance, support, survival, tradition, trust, and unity.
That's like that
That was a good
country
rap.
song. That country song. Where it's like every country in the world.
And then there's action, ambition, care, community, compassion, confidence, connection, control. Like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like the table of elements, the periodic table song. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Yeah. Do you want to go for GD?
Fires and missiles.
Let's
go GD.
Alrighty.
Lock it in, Eddie.
So you're calling it. Okay, great. Roll 2d6 plus your center, so plus your balance, which is a plus 2 at the moment because you have to move your balance away, correct? Yeah. So shift your balance away from center.
Ah, yep. So it's on +1. Yep. To force.
And then 2d6
Yep, okay.
plus force.
Just to read the thing, so I can just roll the virtual dice on their little
Yeah,
UI
that's
here.
fine.
Just
Yep,
a little
absolutely.
dice. That's a negative Ghost Rider.
It hasn't worked, or you haven't succeeded. That is a miss. Okay.
1 + 2 = 3. The quick
That's
maths.
right.
plus 1 takes it to a 4. That is definitely a miss. So you call out. What do you stand up and call out?
Calling out to them, just like, why are you guys out here nicking people every day? Something like that. Don't really know what's going on.
How could this be? How could this match with your sense of duty? You are proud, noble warriors of the Earth Kingdom. They turn and look at you. They turn and look at you and go, "Nah, we're fucking bandits, mate." And then they attack. So what I'm gonna get? So Shurva's ready for this. Yeah. So what I'll get you guys to do? We're gonna head into combat. I will start a combat situation.
Did my intimidating roar do anything?
What was your roll for
Did sound
intimidate?
I think I got like an 8. I
8.
think.
Success with consequences. Yeah, as you just like roar out, 2 of them kind of like stand back looking a bit like freaked out. The rest of them don't seem to be too worried. And it sort of draws more attention to you, Aquila, as you do this intimidating roar.
That was my plan all along.
Alright, so I flicked us into combat.
Glad
So-
Shurva's prepared.
So I flicked us into combat. What you can do in your character sheet, if you click on the combat button, you can then select which one you want to go with in terms of the different types. So because this is the first time I think we've run combat with Beyond Legend. So
Where is combat?
on your character sheet in the bottom right hand corner near your balance track, underneath your character.
Of like the stats and stuff like
yeah.
that. There's a little orange button that says combat.
Oh, the one that says combat.
The one that says combat. This may blow your brain, but yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Found it.
Fantastic. Mako is going to, because you guys discussed this as a group. Mako is going to do the, because he kind of wants to give you Shurva a bit of a hand to get you up and running. Mako might do.
That doesn't sound like Mako.
Giving me a hand? I know.
Helping?
Well, Mako wants to set your whip on fire to help you out. Okay. Marco's going to do evade and observe, and he's going to bolster you and give you the I can't. Oh, I'm in GM only mode. Sorry, let me flick onto GM override mode. All right, so I can actually get Mako to do stuff. There we go. All right, so once you've selected which one you want to do, click lock in, and it should lock in the combat approach. Which is really
I
cool.
chose advanced attack. Oh wait, I've got to click lock in. Okay, there we go. Lock it in.
Yes. Okay, so standing in front of you, this group of 6 Earthbenders, these 6 Earth Nation soldiers stand in front of you. They look to be fairly ragged and fairly rugged. These are almost exclusively men. There's only one woman with them, and she is just as filthy and as ill-dressed as the rest of them. Their clothes are kind of torn and unkempt. One of them actually has what looks to be an old military coat rung, probably a coat belonging to the soldiers of the Earth Kingdom, but it is very much worn, possibly stolen, and the insignia has actually been cut off or torn off from the sleeve. So this person could probably be a deserter. The Earth Nation, they look to sort of be between like 30 and 40, quite older, grizzled Earth Kingdom members, Earth Nation members, and they look like they are willing to really go after you guys. So we've locked in all of the combat approaches, correct? Yes. No, you haven't done yours?
No, mine's not letting me.
What does it say when you do it?
Lock in, and then it says, please select a combat approach to lock in.
Have you selected a combat approach to lock in?
It's not letting me tick it.
Okay, let me come have a
It has like the clear cache. That's the best thing I can say.
I don't have any cash.
Control it. Alt F5. Control it. Cash
Alt F.
money.
Alt
Let me have a
F5.
quick look.
Control F5. Control F5. And that'll hard refresh the page, and then try it then.
Negative.
All right, for the time being, I will lock in a combat approach for you. What did you want to do?
Advance and attack.
Advance and attack. All right, brilliant. I'll lock that in for you.
Please,
Mine
Your
keeps
Honor.
unlocking.
That's hilarious.
Well,
All
stop
right, well let me
clicking it that
quickly
many
hit
times.
resolve, and we'll hopefully have these all locked in, and we can do it. So let me click resolve. All right, perfect. So we've got one defender maneuver and then a whole bunch of advance and attacks. So let's do
Well,
this.
my
Oh, that's-
fire whip is defend and maneuver, so
That actually works perfectly. Okay, so the first person to go is Shurva. You're doing defend and maneuver, so you're actually first off the bat. What would you like to do?
That's my favorite move as well.
I don't really understand what ready means. Mark
So-
1 fatigue to yourself or your environment, assigning or clearing a fictionally appropriate status of nearby characters. or
So
yourself.
for example, so to ready yourself in this case, if you as an example, some of the things that you might do if you had maybe one of the status things like afraid, angry, insecure, guilty, or troubled. So let's say you had afraid, you might quickly run back a little bit, calm yourself, and then get ready for combat. So that would clear the angry. So you'd mark a fatigue, but then clear the angry condition, and you'd be ready to rock and roll. Or if you wanted to assign a condition to one of the NPCs, let's say maybe you start cracking your whip, getting it ready to kind of like scare them a bit, and you try and instill fear into them. So in that case, then what we do is I'd have you roll with focus, and we'd see.
Okay.
Well, you have to roll with focus anyway to see how these techniques go. So do you want to roll me with focus first, and we'll see how you go and how many of these you can use? Because if you get a 10, you can use actually 2 techniques. 8
Okay,
successful
so I got an
consequences.
8.
So you get to use one of these techniques. So ready, retaliate, or seize a position.
Okay, so I'll ready.
Yep. So let's say, for
I'll-
example, did you want to kind of like intimidate these people, make them feel
Yeah.
a bit
So
scared, a
probably,
bit?
probably try to get fear into, I guess, one of them.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say you try
I can't
and make
really
them.
do it with any. Yeah. Oh, the appropriate status of nearby characters or yourself, could that include like making someone else feel prepared or inspired?
Yeah, or for example, Mako
Like one of the
currently
team
has
members? Or
has
empowered?
insecure. You could maybe remove insecure from Mako. If you wanted
Nah,
to, just a thought. No, okay.
Nah, but I'll empower Aquila.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's something
absolutely.
we can do.
Yeah, no, easy as. So how do you empower Aquila? Let's hear it.
Well, now's a chance to prove to yourself that you are caring about more than just yourself.
I mean, nothing
Really
but helpful.
backhanded
for
compliment.
So long.
Aquila, does that help
What
you
she
at
said.
all, or?
I don't know.
I'll be honest, no.
Okay, well then probably.
Sometimes you
fails.
don't get what you want, but you get what you need. That's what you get.
Someone said that once.
So are you
I don't really
going
know how to
for?
empower
Are
somebody.
you going for empowered? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, like a good example of that, if you wanted a bit of a hand, it could be like, Aquila, you've got this. You could do this. Just get in there. Use your water bending. Like you're amazing. You could do this. Like trying to like kind of pep him up and get him ready for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe be like,
How
Aquila,
about-
these enemies
I
are so
am
far
okay.
beneath you. Just clear them.
Mm-hmm.
I am okay with you using blood bending for this. Does that empower you?
That might empower you. Up to you, Aquila.
Yeah, use their blood freely.
I'll say it would empower me,
I don't
but
need
not
it.
for the same way that I think they're going for.
Let the rivers run red.
Let the rivers run red.
Like
Okay.
I think to me it would be
Vladimir.
more so me trying to prove that I'm more than just blood bending.
Either way, it empowers you, so good with that.
Okay.
And that's a win.
Brilliant. So, Aquila, you gain empowered, which means that at the end of each of these, like sort of things, like end of each of these exchanges. Good lord, I can't speak tonight. You can clear one fatigue. So any of your things that cost you a fatigue to do, essentially, you get to clear that fatigue after you've done it. So that's really handy. Alrighty, brilliant. Next up to go is Rung. Rung, could you please roll me for advance and attack? Could you please roll with Passion?
Okay, certainly can. I love Passion.
Or Pasita. Yeah.
11.
11. Okay, 11. I believe that means you get to pick two of these. Yep.
Do I get to choose two of the combat
So you
tricks
can
in
you can
my
mark one
attack?
fatigue to use one learn technique, or you can use one practice technique, or two different basic or master techniques. So the basic techniques are these ones that you have here. So strike, pressure, and smash. They're the basic techniques that you have access
Or
to
use
for advance and
overwhelm.
attack. And then any of the other moves that you might have picked up. So for example, Mako has Disorient. That's one of his moves that he's learned. That's a basic move for him, so he can use that.
Can I use overwhelm? Like, is
Yeah.
that just can I use that once? Or can I
Does
use
it
twice?
say basic or mastered underneath?
mastered?
Okay, so with the master techniques,
Mastered.
you can use two different basic or mastered techniques. So yes. So you can use a basic and a mastered, or you can, yeah, exactly.
Huh.
So you can use overwhelm
Okay,
plus another one of those
so-
basic ones.
Yeah, I'll do. Let me just double check, make sure. Impressive.
You enjoying this music, by the way? Got all new music.
I don't have any music going in.
Oh, you'll have to open up Roll20 because there's no music.
I'll use into pressure, intimidate the foe, then I'll overwhelm them.
Brilliant. Yeah. So talk me through pressure. What is
So
what is
that
pressure?
person has got like that person like that you explained before that has like a deserter or something like that, and it's like, looks like you've given up on the kingdom to sort out your own greed. What a shame you have to taste my fists. And he just goes to punch, and he thinks it's really cool in his head, but it's a bit dorky.
Okay.
So he's
So
going
you're-
into deserter punch.
Yeah. So what approach are you going to prevent them from using?
I'm gonna prevent them from using with the approach. Is that like the advanced
Defend,
evade,
maneuver,
like
advanced
stopping
attack,
from using
evade,
one of
observe.
those?
So you can pick one of these
Yeah.
groups. So there's
I'm
two
gonna
groups
stop them
of
from
three.
using evade,
Evade and observe. Yeah. Perfect.
advanced attack. I'll stop them from attacking.
Okay, brilliant. And did you want to go for the
Yep.
ones that
Perfect.
Shurva kind of intimidated, or the ones to the left? So let's think about it this way. So you've got two groups, one to the left, one to the right. The one that Shurva targeted before is the group of three to the right. The one that's led by the soldier-looking person. That's who she's tried to kind of make afraid. And it looks like she has been kind of... Oh, no, sorry, no. That she changed her mind. She then empowered Aquila. Yeah. So that was the group that she was initially considering
Okay.
making afraid. Did you want to go for them?
Yeah, go after them. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so they can't do advance and attack next turn. I'll remember that. Brilliant. Next up is Aquila doing advance and attack.
Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Yep.
So first off, roll me with passion. Let's see how many of these techniques you can do.
Yep. I knew that. I was testing you.
You succeeded.
9. I
felt
can do
tested.
9 techniques.
So you can do one technique. What are you thinking? You got a couple of
I'm gonna
options. Strike. Okay, brilliant. So for strike, you basically reach out to someone who's near you. They are near you. You can force them to mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift their balance away from center. They get to pick. And you can then instead mark 1 fatigue for you, which would then force them to mark 2 fatigue or inflict a condition. So you can kind of force them to take a bit more damage if you wanted by taking a fatigue yourself. Because Shurva has empowered you, you kind of may as well do that, right? Because you're going to get that fatigue cleared from you anyway. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's do that then.
Brilliant. So how does Aquila do that? Do you use your water bending? Do you use your blood bending? How do you kind of strike out and attack this group?
I would definitely be water bending at this point.
Okay, yeah. So you reach down to your water canteen at your waist.
Whatever you call it.
What was that? Sorry.
My little cup.
Your little canteen.
Yep.
Pop the cork off. Whip out this lance of water and just start like just striking them with these bolts of water.
Yeah, try and just piercing sort of darts almost.
Yeah, the Earth Kingdoms will just pull up these rock walls to try and protect themselves, but they leave themselves kind of open, and that does cause them to mark some fatigue. So they take 2 fatigue. I'm guessing you're going for the group that were up against. Oh, well, I mean, you tell me. There's one group led by the female and one group led by the soldier, the ex-soldier.
Which is the one that I yelled at?
The one on the right, the one with the ex-soldier.
Yes, I'll go for that one then.
Brilliant. Yes, they're the ones who are a little bit like
on them.
As you just scream at them. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah,
you flick out these bolts of water. While they do block it with their earth bending and pulling up these pillars of rock, you can see that they take a few scratches across their legs as this sort of seems to cut through the rock. Your water bending powerful enough to even slice through the rock that they pull up to defend themselves. Brilliant. Suckers. Next up are the earthbenders. They are going to... They're both advancing and attacking, so they both move up. The group that you just attacked, Archie, They immediately move up and they are going to smash right up against the area that you guys are standing on because you're all standing together. The first group, working as a unit, pull back and then throw forwards using their hands, causing the ground to crumble underneath and creating this gravel pit where you guys are. Because there's 3 of them and there are 3 of you plus Mako, which I am managing Mako, they try to destabilize the structure and they're going to inflict a status on you guys, or attempt to inflict a status on you guys. They're trying to inflict the impaired status on you to try and like hold you in place and make it harder for you to go after them. So I need each of you to either mark 1 fatigue or take -2 to all physical actions. Your choice.
I'll take a fatigue.
Yep, fatigue. Shurva? Rung? Oh, you're muted, Shurva.
When I said before I was going to use overwhelm, that uses 3 fatigue. There must be another fatigue. So I'll be on 4 fatigue.
You're on 4 fatigue now.
Don't say that, just say you're really tired.
I'm a bit knackered, eh?
Guys, I'm really tapped out. I haven't had any coal for a while. This train's running on empty.
My black lung's turning into a normal pink lung.
Yeah, Rung. Something about this, like all the earth bending that you were doing to get these guys down the canyon. Yeah. You're pretty tapped out. Like you're struggling a bit.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, that's it. I'm like, overwhelmed plus this, that's 4. Can I survive in 1 fatigue?
Or do you want to take a -2 to all physical actions for the next exchange?
Yeah, I'll do that. I was actually gonna take the 4 fatigue in total, but I'll take the -2.
Yeah, click impaired for me on your character sheet to activate it, and then we'll deal with that in the next turn. The next group of earthbenders, the other 3, all go to strike. Seeing you guys kind of off balance, they immediately take advantage, and all 3 of them strike out at you. They're going to try and make you guys mark 2 fatigue as they try and take out at you. So, they're going to try and mark a condition. Sorry, they are trying to make you guys mark. Or probably in this case, as they throw the rocks at you, they're trying to make you feel troubled, trying to knock you guys out of balance and make you feel off balance and troubled about what's happening. So, could I have you guys please select the troubled on your character sheets?
Okay.
I knew you were troubled when you walked in.
And I'll do it for Marco.
Where's troubled? Inspired, prepared, favored.
Underneath, it's the
on the conditions on the right side.
Yeah, it's the conditions.
On the conditions.
So for the moment, that means you guys have a -2 to plead, or a -2 to plead and -2 to rely on your skills and training. All right, that's the Earthbenders go. Last up is Mako. Mako is going to try and do bolster or hinder. He is going to try to bolster you, Shurva, obviously. What will he bolster you with? He is going to bolster you with... Yeah, he's going to give you prepared. So as he flings the fire at your whip, and your whip then catches a light, you can add a +1 to any roll after this, or avoid marking a condition afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, he's trying to make you much more strong in this coming battle by setting your whip on fire and make you far more likely to succeed. Alrighty. Let's get the next round of combat. So if I click initiate, now we should be able to have you guys click on your combat things again. Now, one group can't do defend and maneuver because you have prevented them from doing so. So they're going to do something. Sorry, can't do advance and attack. Yep, brilliant. Alrighty.
Guess who fixed their thing?
I just want to check. When I did that before, I did the pressure because I got the 11. Did I do pressure and overwhelm, or was it just pressure?
You just did overwhelm, I think. Because what did you roll?
Okay,
I think you only rolled to do 1 anyway.
11?
No, you should have done 2.
I rolled 11.
Do you want to do your pressure really quickly? Because you should have done that as well.
So that's what I thought that pressure was. Like, I did the pressure, like calling someone out for, not calling someone out, I just realized it's a phrase, but saying there was trying to pressure them, and then it was the overwhelm to do the punch.
What does the pressure inflict upon them? Because I don't think I've done the status for
impress or intimidate a foe. This was targeting that lady, look like a deserter, and choose your approach. Your foe cannot choose that approach.
So we did that one, and
one where it's like,
so we did do that one. So what was the overwhelm again?
That was one where I throw a punch with all my weight behind it on a hit 7+. You can do this one. Throw a punch for your weight behind it. Mark 3 fatigue. Who inflicts stunned on an engaged foe. So that was
brilliant.
That,
do you want to roll me with passion to punch him in the face?
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't too sure if I did it before because I was a bit.
No, we didn't do that. Sorry, I think that's my bad. I think I skipped over you. Sorry.
No, I did not at all. That's a 9.
That's a 9.
It's also our first time using this newer version of combat, so
bit of an update.
It's gonna be a bit
Don't make excuses for him.
Stunned condition, brilliant. I will.
No. Excuses are good. I appreciate them.
So stunned means that they can't act or respond for a few seconds or one exchange until they're setting themselves. So that's brilliant because that group now can't do anything for this entire exchange. So they're knocked out as you like rush in. You don't just punch one of them. You kind of kick up 2 rocks. Kick out with the rocks first. As they hit the other 2 in the head, you just come through and punch the main one, the deserter, in the face, knocking them down. Yeah. So all 3 attack, because they're groups. I'm treating them as groups of NPCs. So yeah, you fling out these rocks, and as they smash into their heads, you watch as they sort of go like, look really off kilter, not looking healthy at all. All right, has everyone selected an approach?
Yes.
Brilliant. So let's do resolve, and we'll see who's doing stuff. So Shurva is doing defend and maneuver. There is one NPC doing defend and maneuver, but they're not actually doing defend and maneuver because that's the group that can't do anything. So I have to actually take them off. Then we've got Aquila doing advance and attack. We've got an Earthbender doing advance and attack. Rung-Bolo, you didn't do it quickly enough. What was your thing?
I defend and maneuver. I was too slow. I didn't realize it was timed. I'm sorry.
It looks like Marco's didn't make it in either. Marco was actually going to do evade and observe again as well. Okay, so let's do defend and maneuver first. Shurva, you're going to be first for this defend and maneuver, followed by Rung.
Okay, so I have to roll Ficus.
With Ficus.
11.
Yeah. That means you get to select 2, baby. Two of the basic or master techniques, or one learned technique, which we will go through an update actually at some point in the future soon.
I am going to use Fire Whip. So that is mark 1 fatigue. Lash out from a distance. Inflict. Hang on. On a hit, 10+, mark 1 fatigue. Lash out from a distance. Inflict 2 fatigue or a condition. And enemies must mark 1 fatigue to get close enough to attack you this exchange. How many fatigue am I marking? I'm very confused.
Let me have a quick look. Quick character sheet open. Have a quick look at this. Combat.
Because like Fire Whip is down there as learned, but I feel like it should probably be either.
So you mark 1 fatigue to yourself because it is a learned technique. So to do a learned technique, you have to mark a fatigue. So with your 10+, you can use 1 learned technique. So this is the learned technique you're going to use because it's not a mastered technique yet. It's only a learned technique. So yeah. It should potentially be mastered, but I think if we go back and look at the recordings, I think you've only used this like 3 times.
I think it should at least be practiced. But I can't change anything to do with that.
I can do that. Would you like me to update it to practiced?
Well, I think it should be practiced.
I
I've
do
been
kind
doing
of
the
agree.
same thing the entire campaign.
Yeah,
I haven't just
too.
learned it.
I actually agree with you. I am going to make it practice for you. I should be able to do that. But yeah, so you can ignore the -1. You can just do it as it normally is. But I'll try and fix that up for you.
Okay. So then, lash out from a distance, inflict 2 fatigue or a condition. We'll do 2 fatigue on the...
Oh, you'll have to do it in your character editor. So have you got it open now? So if you go to your character and then go to edit, you should then be able to change it to practiced.
On the skills practice, you must have successfully used it in combat. I mean, I have.
Yes, you
Okay,
have.
good. Beauty.
Brilliant.
Update.
So when you open that back up again now, you should be able to just do it without the -1 fatigue. So yeah, so you basically get to inflict 2 fatigue with the fire whip to one of your enemies, and then for them to get closer to you, they then have to mark a fatigue as well, correct?
Yeah, so inflict 2 fatigue or a condition. We'll do the 2 fatigue.
Yep. And which group are you attacking? The group that you guys have kind of been focusing on? The one to the right with the old ex-soldier, or the one to the left with the woman wearing the tattered, damaged smock tunic?
Which one did Rung hit?
Rung's gone after... Rung has stunned the one with the soldier, the ex-soldier. He's kind of focused on them.
Okay. I'll hit the other ones.
Okay, brilliant. So yeah, 2 fatigue to them. I will mark that right now, because that is a... you need to roll... Sorry, you need to roll to attack them. That's right.
And it's focus again as well?
It would indeed be focus, yes. Actually, yeah, it would be with focus, yes.
Okay, so I got a 7.
I think 7 might be a miss, unfortunately.
Yeah, because it says on a hit 10 plus.
Yeah.
Because it's practice. So does that then like use up one of the things that I can do?
It uses up, that's your... Even with a 10 plus, that's all you can do is use one practice technique, unfortunately.
I'm so confused by how this works now.
It's been a while since we did it, I know. So the way it works is, so 10 plus with the roll...
I see the thing at the top.
Yeah, it tells you how many things you can do with the 10 plus. So in this case, you've done one practice technique. The fire whip, unfortunately, hasn't worked. However, remember that you get to add a +1 to your dice rolls because of Mako.
Oh, yeah.
Because Marco's giving you the +1. So
it was 7, an 8.
That'll take it to an 8.
It has to be a 10.
I feel like 10 plus just to hit... that doesn't make any sense for it to actually work, because that should be like for the
practice.
full... Yeah, and mastered, is it easier to...
It's a 7 plus.
Limp-wristed.
Okay.
Like just...
Yep, that's a real shame. Sorry about that, Shurva. Yeah, as you go to like whip around with this flaming whip, these earthbenders are moving surprisingly quickly. The woman who's leading them is calling out these attacks and calling out your moves as you're doing them. A duck under, left, right, under, jump, earth wall. And they're really doing a good job defending against you as you whip out with this flaming whip. Mako kind of like looks at you and looks at them and goes, man, they're pretty good. And that's
way better.
They're not good, they just can't think for themselves.
Nice.
Got him.
Amazing. Alrighty, so next up is Rung with Defender Maneuver.
Yep. With the Defender in the move it is, I was going to go for Retaliate, so as I'm getting amongst it, just getting ready to steal some blows, like just gone in, punch and stun someone.
Brilliant. Read out.
No, they can't attack this round. Wait, no, they can't. That's right, yeah. Wait, let me double check. If I do Retaliate, will that work, say, for the other group? Are they in range, like, hit me or something like that?
Yeah. Retaliate works against any attacks against you.
Ah, cool, sweet. I just want to make sure I wasn't, like, stunned and like, yeah, jumped in, now hit me. And they're like,
No, Retaliate works for any attack against you. Because, like, literally with Retaliate, if we read it out, steal yourself for blows. Each time a foe inflicts fatigue, a condition, or shifts your balance in this exchange, inflict 1 fatigue on that foe.
Yeah.
So anytime you
I'll just go Retaliate, so I'm just jumping there for a big hit. I'm a bit knackered.
I imagine Rung kind of like steps back, you pull up some like stones around you, forming this kind of like defensive spiked perimeter of rocks, and just like take a moment looking ready to like fling these spikes out at anyone who comes close. Nice.
100%.
Alrighty, last up in the Defender maneuvers is one of the groups, but they don't get to go because they were the ones who had their stunned condition afflicted. So as the Earthbenders sort of go to like prepare themselves and pull open and get into a defensive position. Rung's attack against them has kind of knocked them for 6, and you watch as they kind of like sway a little bit, try and pull up some earth, and then they just drop the rocks, looking really quite worse for wear, having been smashed in the head with some of these rocks. Next up is Aquila doing advance and attack.
Roll with passion.
Roll with passion, please, my friend.
Oh, beautiful. 13, sir.
13 is an absolute success. What would you like to do?
I can do 2 things on a 13, right?
2 of the basics, or 1 basic, 1 mastered. If you've got any practiced or learned techniques, you can do 1 of those.
My only practice or learnt I've got is blood bending, and I don't want to touch. I'm going to try and avoid them.
Okay. Even though you've kind of been given permission by the group, right? Like you've been told.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Blood is a free commodity. No one really owns blood. It's free for the taking.
No, I don't think that's true.
That's not Rung. That's your voice in your head.
Yeah, like I said,
Hey,
like,
normally the voice in his head sounds like my voice.
I
Blood is
think at
free.
this point I'm
No
trying
one
to show
owns blood.
that I
You're
I
trying
can
your
do
best
stuff
to.
without
More than
blood
just
bending.
bloodbender.
Like I'm more than just blood bending. even
Yeah,
though
you're
it's really
more
cool
than
and you guys
more than
are
the weapon that
super scared of
Yavu
me.
made you.
Oh my god, did that rock cut that dude's forehead open? Wow, crazy. That's a lot of blood.
I wanted to do smash.
Yeah, so you can do 2 of these basic moves. So yeah, smash can be.
So
quite
I was
effective.
hoping I could do smash to try and like, because it says destabilize something in the
Yes.
environment.
Yep.
I was hoping that there's something above that I could try and like loosen with
Okay.
water.
Okay.
Like sort of like try and like loosen like, I don't know, like a pillar or something, like,
Yeah.
because I know we're in like a cave sort of environment.
You're out in a clearing on the other side of a tunnel, but yeah, I mean, there's mountains all around you. There's some sections that you could try and knock. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to do that first, and then after that strike.
Okay, so with smash, marker fatigue. You're going to get
Yeah.
this back anyway from Shurva's. Shurva's
Oh yeah,
help.
right.
Although does that last like the whole thing, or is it only for 1 round?
I think it lasts the whole thing because they keep the status, don't they?
Sweet. I forgot to take off my fatigue from before. The one that I
Yeah,
just
they
got.
do.
So I just, yeah.
Yeah, clear 1 fatigue at the end of each exchange. Absolutely. Yeah. It lasts until the next round. So yeah, you mark a fatigue, and then
Yep.
as you sort of like get ready, you fling out this like very thin, razor sharp arc of water that cuts through this pillar. This section of stone that's kind of like eroded away, leaving this standing stone pillar, almost like a large obelisk leaning up against the side of the mountain. As you cut it through and pause and watch, this ominous kind of creaking echoes through the circle around you, echoes through the crater, and then this giant pillar just drops towards them. As it does so, they all have to dive out of the way. The group in the way of this, they are going to inflict I think probably, I'm going to give them the frightened condition. It says status, but I kind of want to give them the frightened condition. It says status. No, do you know what? I'm gonna give them the impaired condition, because I think having that kind of drop down on top of them, they're gonna mark a fatigue. Each of them's gonna mark. Actually, no, they're gonna mark -2 to all physical. Oh no, choose 1 for your technique. Okay, cool. Yes, they can choose 1 for your technique. Okay, cool. Yep. So they do that. They're gonna mark impaired.
Beautiful.
What would you like to do?
Thank you.
And now I would like to strike.
Brilliant.
So I will force them.
Archie, Chad have asked, can you feel if there's water around you?
We
discussed
said
this,
that.
they
We
can't.
discussed this last time, and I got in trouble for asking.
Yeah.
In
You
Brisbane,
can't-
there's a lot of water in the air.
None of the benders can sense things. You can only influence them.
But as a blood bender, can I not sense blood?
No, you can't. You know logically that anyone who's walking around probably is full of the stuff, but that's about it.
I guess.
You just read what I wrote.
What did you write? If you could feel the blood in
You could
people's
feel the
bodies,
blood
do you think
in-
you had an awkward time in high school? Oh, wow. Dear Lord. So you're going for a strike then, Aquila.
Yeah.
Which group did you want to strike? The ones who have kind of been... I've assumed the pillar that you dropped was towards the female.
Yeah.
The group led by the
I wanna-
female. Brilliant.
Throw. Oh my god, cat.
You want to throw the cat?
Throw the cat at them.
Jesus.
That's I don't know if I can't see that as a practiced or learned technique. That must be a new
That's
technique.
mastered. It's mastered. I want to strike the group of the soldier, the ex-soldier.
Oh yeah, okay, brilliant. So as one group are kind of dealing with this falling pillar, you turn your attention to the group led by the soldier and just fling out these bolts of water.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so you basically can force them to mark 2 fatigue, a condition, or shift their balance away from center, or you can take fatigue.
Do I get that back, or do I only get one?
Only
per-
one back.
Okay, I'm happy to keep 1 fatigue.
Okay, so they.
So I'll have 1 fatigue. They'll mark 2 fatigue. Right, forcing them to mark 2 fatigue, or strike them where
they get to pick. So 2 fatigue, or a condition, or shift their balance away from center. They get to pick.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So they have picked. You unfortunately don't get to know which one they picked. Sorry.
Damn it.
And last up in the initiative order is the NPC. Sorry, no, second last in the advance and attack is the... Oh no, last in the advance and attack is the Earthbender Bandits. Luckily, Archie, this is... Or Aquila, I should say. Luckily, Aquila, this is the group that you were going after, the one led by the soldier. Their stun has now worn off. No, it's the group led by the woman. They immediately... Trying to get out from underneath this pillar, they rush forwards and all 3 immediately begin flinging these pebbles towards you. Essentially, like, as they lift up from the ground, they make these very sharpened, almost like barbs out of the stone, and then fling them through the center. I'm going to need each of you to take a fatigue as you are all hammered by these like tiny razor sharp barbs made of stone that fling towards you.
Okay.
Rung, how you doing, buddy?
Oh yeah. Shouldn't have punched so hard earlier, I reckon.
Maybe.
I'm good.
Lastly, Mako is going to do evade and observe. I will quickly roll for Mako. He will use harmony rather than creativity because he is... Oh, that's a miss. That's a shame. He was going to try and help you, Rung, but look, he'll shift his balance away. Oh no, he can't. Otherwise, he's going to have like a full balance meltdown. No, Mako can't help you. He was going to try and clear some of your fatigue.
That's balance meltdown.
Because he's only 1 away from
He's
the
at
end
the
of the
end.
balance. Yeah, which is
So am I.
Oh god.
He's at the end of action versus forgiveness.
So he's about to like go full Anakin mode right now. Like he's turning into Darth Vader if he goes any further.
Just like because he's on action, he's just going to kind of like lose it and just start firebending in the middle of them, which is going to be a bit of a problem.
I hate sand.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Marco misses. He can't move his balance, so he's just going to have to take a miss, unfortunately. All right. I'm going to open up the combat round again. Can each of you select an approach? Select the NPCs.
Now or like
Now.
later?
All right.
Now.
Be quick. They're timed. You don't know.
Oh shit.
Right.
I can't mark any fatigue.
Oh, I can't do that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm locking in. Lock it in, Eddie.
I'm not done yet. Locked in.
Okay, brilliant. I'll just select one for Marco. To re-engage GM override for Marco. All right. Actually, Marco's going to do something different. Sorry, Marco is going to help. Okay, Marco's going to be more helpful. He's not being super helpful. All right, all locked in?
Good for him.
Yes, Dad.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Shurva, defend a maneuver. You're the only one defending a maneuvering. You're first. Could you please roll me with focus?
8.
Looking great.
8's great. 8's a hit. What would you like to do?
8's
And did
a
I hear a
hit.
bird respond to 8?
Don't
There's
know.
like 8 looking great.
I swear I had like a bird or something go like, maybe it was a door. I don't know. It was like this weird like squeaky noise.
I think it was just the background of someone. Like
It might be me.
Is
a
Dragon
girl
here
making
somewhere?
noise. I will. Seize a position.
Nice. Okay. So move up to a new location. This allows you to kind of like engage or disengage with a different group, overcome a negative status or danger, maybe get an advantageous position, or run away.
I'm leaving. No, I'm kidding. Kidding.
See ya.
I will. So hang on.
Oh, fuck off.
So can I get rid of
Okay.
impaired?
Cat just bit my foot.
Yeah, overcome a negative status or danger. Yes, you could. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Because I mean, I'm moving away from like what's impairing me. Which is,
Exactly.
Like the gravelly.
Yeah. You're
Thing.
moving off that gravel pit, getting out of the way. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna move away from the others so that we can't be attacked by like a group attack again.
Yep.
But still be kind of close enough that I can jump in front of
Mako.
Mako if needed.
Yeah, fair enough. Brilliant. Yeah, Shurva, as you jump and roll underneath, coming up into a low crouch whip at the ready as you look around. You are out of the gravel pit. Your footing is now stable. You feel much more enabled in your attacks. Alrighty. Next up in the order was Mako doing advance and attack. Marco's actually going to be first on advance and attack. Marco's going to roll with Passion. 7, which is success with consequences. Mako is going to strike, I think. Mako kind of like hanging back near you, Shurva, sees you kind of like sees you army roll out of the way, gives you a nod, pulls this big ball of fire into his hands, splits it across into 3, and then claps together to fling out these 3 fireballs towards the group led by the elderly ex-soldier. He is going to mark a fatigue to do this strike, to force them to mark either 2 fatigue or not, which takes him up to 1 fatigue. And he is going to try and knock them out, which he is successful in doing as they take their last fatigue and then are forced to take a condition. The group led by the ex-soldier, as their clothes are lit on fire as Mako flings out these bolts of flame, they're knocked back, the fire burning through their clothes as they sort of like cry out and try and tap away at it. They drop down and you see Mako kind of like flinging a few more fire bolts out, trying to scare them off. And as they drop and kind of like start sprinting away from you guys in panic, you can see one of them has actually fallen very still. And you're not quite sure of his condition at this point, but the other 2 sprint out of there running for their lives. That's
He's just
Mako.
having a nap.
He's having a nap. He's having a dirt nap for an earthbender. Next up in our initiative was Aquila.
Me
Pass
again.
over to you. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm doing advance and attack. I got a 9, so I can do a 1, alright?
Yes,
Do a
that's
one-
exactly correct.
one.
1.
1.
9. 1.
Yes.
I was gonna smash
Is that
again.
Tash in
but
chat? Hello, Tash.
It is.
We miss you, Tash.
But I
Hello.
feel like
We miss you.
I'm going to
Yes, give in to your hate.
strike. I'm gonna strike.
Strike.
Again.
Brilliant.
The
Led
the,
by the woman. There's
the-
only 2. There's
the woman.
only 3 earthbenders left in one group, so
the woman group.
the woman group. The group
Yeah.
led by the woman. Absolutely. Well, yeah, strike. Do you mark a fatigue or just
I'm gonna mark a. I'll mark a fatigue on myself, and then
to force
lose
them
it.
to take 2 fatigue? They take that for 2 fatigue. And what does it look like? What do you do with your strike? How does it work?
They were throwing like pebbles, correct? Like little barbed pebbles.
Yeah, they created these
I'm
barbed
gonna try and
pebbles.
like match that out of water, like little,
Ooh.
like almost like shurikens.
Do you want to kind of like freeze them into ice maybe and fling those?
A shuriken.
A shuriken.
A shuriken. Enemy.
An enemy. Yeah, I'll like freeze them a little bit, and just
Okay.
pelt them at them. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like channeling some of the waterbending you've seen Oki use, because Oki's very much heavily invested in the ice side of waterbending.
Yeah.
No, even though you know she's not here, it kind of looks like you've taken a few steps to try and impress Oki in the last few sessions. Like you've tried to kind of win her back over. Yeah. And they say that imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. So kind of seeing in this moment of panic, you're like, oh shit, what would Oki do? She'd throw some ice. Okay, I can throw some ice. Freeze the water into these little tiny barbs and fling them straight back at the group. Yeah, the earthbenders go to block this, but your attack is too fast. As they pull up the earth wall, the barbs have already gone through and cut across their chests, creating these massive gashes that are bleeding very slightly. As they cry out in alarm, the woman looks back towards you. This one's more capable than the others. Focus on him.
Oh shit.
You've done the most damage so far. You've done a fair bit of damage. That
pretty
is
cool.
your advance and attack. It's only one group of earthbenders left. They immediately go to advance and attack against you. As she calls that out, as the female earthbender calls that out, this one seems more capable. Focus on him. You watch as they reach down. The three earthbenders grab a section of earth, pull it up into the air, and compact it together into this giant, almost like a coin-looking circular disc. The three of them together begin spinning this thing faster and faster. She stands behind and then pushes it towards you, sending this massive disc of earth spinning towards you. Or I should say stone spinning towards you at high speed. Mako, Rung, and Aquila. Shurva, you're out of the way, so they can't target you with this.
Exactly.
Mako, Rung, and Aquila, as this thing flies towards you, you have a choice. You can either mark 2 fatigue or a condition. The condition that you are marking is going to be... a status. You can either mark 2 fatigue or a status. The status is going to be trapped. If this thing hits you, it locks you down into the ground. Your choice.
Is this like an earthbender rail gun they've just made? Like, that's what
essentially
it feels like to me here.
You may remember in Avatar the Last Airbender, one of the Earth Kingdom generals tries to activate the Avatar state by flinging the coins at Aang. You may remember this, the giant stone coins. This is a very similar technique.
Little.
But yeah, it's essentially an earthbender, like disc railgun. Yeah.
I was doing. I just want to check how the order of operations works here.
Yes.
For my turn, I was
Evade and
doing evade and reserve. So
you
clear
come
fatigue
last.
and roll
Yep.
thingo.
Yep.
Okay. That's
you're
last. So my fatigue isn't cleared until. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Damn.
defend and maneuver goes first, then all the advance and attacks go off, then the evade and observes get to go off. Sorry.
Real
No, it's
quick,
cool. Noted.
Hello.
how do remove status?
How does one remove a status? Just click on it
Is
again.
that just
Leaving yourself.
no? But like how? Like
What
in
moves
game,
can
like,
you
what- how do I
do?
get
Yeah,
rid of
so
the
evade and
status?
observe.
So-
Evade and
It's so
observe
easy
lets
to
you do
remove all
that.
this fatigue.
Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah.
And defend and maneuver
Yeah.
lets you as well.
There's a couple of different
Yep.
moves, specific moves. So like mine was seize a position,
fact,
so I
all
can
of them have
overcome a negative status.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sweet.
Actually, all of them, defend and maneuver, advance and attack,
Yeah.
and evade and observe, all three of them have an option that lets you remove a status.
Stop biting me.
What? Yeah, what's up with your cat, mate? Why is it so vicious? Oh, wait, it's a cat.
Yeah.
All cats are assholes.
I'm gonna mark a condition. That's what.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
doing.
taking a condition.
Except
angry.
Bree's cat.
Trapped, right?
Bree's cat's
Angry
gorgeous.
and I'm troubled.
You say that, but
Basically-
he's currently just.
Sorry. So Rung, not a condition. Sorry, it's a status that you'll be taking, and the status is trapped.
Oh, a status.
You're
trapped.
completely helpless.
Yeah.
You must
I
mark
feel
a
that's
combination of
something that
3 fatigue or conditions to escape, but next turn. So for you, this might be worth it because you might be able to get out of it for the moment. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty cute kitten.
He's chewing my hand.
Yeah,
I just wanted
so-
to show that for when you said except Bree's cat. Like, no, he's.
No, he's an
eating
asshole
me.
too. Okay, so Rung, you're going to
All
take
cats.
trapped. Marco's going to take the 2 fatigue because Marco doesn't have a huge amount of fatigue yet, so he'd rather get out of this right away. Marco just dives to the side towards you, Shurva, trying to get out of the way of this coin as it clips his ankle, like sort of knocking him prone. He sort of like rolls a little bit and comes up, kind of dusts his suit off and goes like, "Oh, yeah, that was shit," and then looks at you kind of like a bit sheepishly. Rung, you're taking the status trapped, and Aquila, you're taking status trapped. Okay.
Yes.
Rung, you are last to go. Could you please
pretty much
roll
what it's
me
like
with
to have a
creativity
hex
or
trapped.
harmony?
I can. Let's go with creativity.
Success.
Uh,
So you get to
7.
pick one of those.
I was going to pick bolster onto Shurva.
Hey.
Okay. Brilliant. So bolster essentially lets you give Shurva a positive or negative status. Well, bolster's a positive status, hinder's a negative status. Which status did you want to give Shurva? There's inspired, prepared, favored, or empowered. Inspired.
I'm already prepared.
She's already prepared. So in that case, inspired, favored, or empowered. Probably empowered is the more helpful one for Shurva right now, which lets her clear a fatigue at the end of each exchange. Otherwise, prepared's not too bad either.
Let's clear some fatigues. Yeah. Let's go empowered.
Empowered for Shurva. How do you empower Shurva? Talk me through what that looks like.
It's like get hit by this, but I feel so trapped. But Shurva, there's only one thing that can save us, and it's your really long whip. I believe in it. I believe you can do anything. You can reach great heights with a whip that long. And I feel like I'm trapped right now. It's like a rock's on my toe, and I'm like, can't move.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
You know that's in the trivia section of the wiki page for Shurva.
Is it really?
I just saw it because I saw the wiki page come up, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's been put in for each of them.
No.
Scroll down, says has a really long whip.
No. No way.
Keep this one going. This meme ain't dying.
Let me look.
That's
Shurva
perfect.
has a really long whip. I want to know which legend did that. Own up, because you are amazing and I love you. That's hilarious.
I genuinely thought you saw that, and that's why you said really long whip.
That's what I thought too, because I posted it in the Facebook
Oh, you thought
chat
Rung had
as well.
seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It was me! Ha!
Was it actually you? I don't think it was you.
I'd own it.
Oh, that's amazing. I'll have to update the wiki. It's been a
Someone
minute since I
out there,
updated it. I will go update the wiki. But that is so funny.
We all need to write our backgrounds and update it as well.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I've
back to
noticed
combat.
True.
Alrighty.
So
Back up
I
to
am
the top.
now prepared and empowered.
Yeah, you're just absolutely ready to 1v1 these guys, while the rest of your team are currently struggling. All right, so that's one NPC gone. Brilliant.
So,
You're taking out one group.
Do I remove a fatigue now?
Yes, you do.
At
yes,
the end of
you
this
do.
exchange?
End of each exchange.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm really. I wonder if there's any other little Easter eggs for each of the wiki stuff.
I've gone through. There's no trivia for anyone
it's
else.
only Shurva.
Yeah.
That's so.
I'm gonna go add some really cringy trivia to all of you just to make it more fair.
We just know who the fans' favorites is. It's okay.
Aquila, you.
I think it's
you
because
don't
it was
even have
a joke
character
for a
sheet.
really long time.
No,
Yeah.
I'm as
He's a bonus character still. He's
bonus
not
character.
he hasn't been given a main character page.
Yeah, I'll update
You're like
that.
when Frank Reynolds joins into Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They just invite him in for 2 episodes, and then he's just there till
He's there
season
for the
13.
entire thing. Yeah.
You're Danny
that is
DeVito.
so funny. I
That's an
find
honor.
that so
That's
funny
an honor.
that someone did
Yeah,
that.
absolutely,
really
it is.
That someone was like, yeah, do you know what? Better give Shurva a bit of trivia. The fact she's got a really long whip. All right, make sure you guys pick your approaches.
Oh shit.
Pick your approaches, Mako.
Did I get to clear fatigue that turn? I did. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm
Don't worry, Marco's going to try and help you out too.
Evade and observe again.
Sorry, Marco's going to
Jump
help.
in again for that one. Oh god, thank you. I need to clue as many as
All
I
right,
can.
let me know when you're all locked in.
I'm locked in. The wording on ready is a bit.
It's not the easiest to read, is it? Do you want me to help
It's
out?
like no. Clearing a fictionally appropriate status.
Yeah, so you have to be able to make a small story to explain why
Yeah.
you are removing that status. So, for me, moving out of the way, moving away from the area that was making me impaired,
Yeah.
Helped clear the
Makes
impaired
sense to
status.
be able to
Because she's no
remove
longer
the
standing on
impaired.
the gravel.
It just feels.
whereas
Yeah,
I couldn't say that
it's wordy.
stepping to the side would clear me of being doomed.
The word
Yeah.
fictionally is the one I think that could be changed to situationally appropriate.
Yeah.
Right?
Fictionally is what's getting.
Fictionally is the problem. Situationally would make more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mako and Shurva are both, and Aquila are all defending and maneuvering. Mako is first. I think it's not. I was going to say, I think it must be spelling, but I think it's just whoever is first to lock in their moves. I think I must have been.
I was going to ask, is that how it's worked?
I think it is, yeah. Mako is going to try and help Rung, seeing Rung in a bit of trouble. That's success with consequences. He is going to do a ready. He will mark fatigue, which is his fourth fatigue. Oh, Mako. But he's going to basically run in to you, Rung. He's going to hold out his hand and try and pull you free of this rubble. As he reaches out and clasps your hand, he drags you out from underneath this giant stone disc that the earthbenders threw against you and pulls you to safety. As he looks back, Mako then turns back and looks towards you, Shurva. Shurva, you've probably got this. And that's his full turn.
Fair enough.
Yay.
Shurva, you're up next.
Okay, so focus
What'd you call me?
7.
What'd you call me?
I will use divert, which means I'll step into the way of blows intended for my allies, and when an ally within reach suffers a blow this exchange, I can suffer it for them.
Ooh, okay, brilliant.
So do I
doesn't
have
say
to-
pick an ally, does it? No, I don't think
Yeah,
it
no,
does.
it doesn't. So I would say anyone within reach. So I guess it depends on how far the gravel pit is that I moved out of.
Oh, I'm perfectly happy to say that as part of that kind of divert, you're stepping into the way of blows. You just walk back the tiny little bit and get ready to stand in front.
Because I
So-
said that I still wanted to be I wanted to
Yeah.
be close enough that I could still jump back if I needed to.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Um,
So I will suffer any blows that other people take this round.
it's a shame you couldn't do retaliate as well, because that's actually amazing that it kind of
I know.
goes so well with retaliate. That's awesome.
It does, but I just didn't quite roll high enough.
No, all G.
Sucks to be
Next up is Aquila. Aquila, could you please roll with focus? Let's see if it sucks to be you.
I got a -1 on focus, so it
Brilliant.
does. I got an 8.
That's one move.
That's a move. I get away from my junk.
What would you like to do?
Whoa!
How would I remove stat? It would only be ready for me, I believe.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
to
I'd have to
clear to clear trapped, it says you must mark a combination of 3 fatigue or conditions to escape. However, if someone else is helping you out of there, it's a bit different. So to get yourself out, it's a bit different because that status kind of locks you into position. Yeah.
Shit. Even if I ready?
That's fine.
Even if you ready, I believe. I could be
Ready,
wrong,
mark
but-
1 fatigue to ready yourself or your environment,
Clearing a
assigning or
fiction.
clearing a fiction
Okay.
appropriate status.
Talk to me how you get
Can I-
yourself out of this.
can I-
Let's see. Oh, yeah, go
So
ahead.
how exactly are we trapped?
You're
I was gonna
under
say-
you are crushed underneath this
Okay,
giant
good, crushed.
stone disc.
I wasn't sure if crushed or just legs are stuck.
It's not like a what's that 90 days or something trapped on a mountain with it's you are completely underneath this thing.
Can I try and I guess not really. That's more of a strike, isn't it? I was gonna say try and cut the boulder or whatever's on top of me, but that's a strike, isn't it?
Not necessarily. I'd say that kind of falls more towards a smash, but at the same time, I can kind of see how you might go trying to use your water to try and push the stone up around you,
Either
ready
push
yourself.
it out or push me out, make
Yeah.
yourself all slippery. So I just
I can see an argument for using your water bending to try and basically push the stone up just enough that you can kind of scramble your way out and
Yeah.
prevent yourself from. Yeah, okay. I can see that. I can see that. I will allow it. I know that it specifically says for traps that you must mark a combination of 3 fatigue or conditions to escape. But what I'm going to do is with ready, I'm going to count that ready as 2 of those. So you only have to mark. So with the ready, right? You mark 1 fatigue.
yeah.
Because
and then
you're
I mark
using-
another one.
I'm going to say that you have to mark at least 1 more, either condition or fatigue. So
Ooh,
rather
condition.
than marking 3, you can just mark 2.
Condition.
What have you pasted in chat? What is this?
So I put in the description for the ability into ChatGPT and
Okay.
improved the readability of this sentence. So it just gave me 3 dot points of how to do it. But my main thing is I love the last response. It's also worth noting that the sentence is not only hard to read, but it's also hard to understand what it's trying to convey. It can be helpful to provide more context or clarify the meaning of ready, mark, one fatigue and fictional appropriate status.
I'm just watching. So I'm enjoying that, but I'm also enjoying watching Archie just get destroyed by his cat. It's like a 1v1, and Archie is so badly losing. It's not funny.
I can't punch a cat.
Well, you can.
That's a tease.
You just shouldn't.
I'm putting that in quotes on the Discord. That's going into the quotes in the Discord. I can't punch a cat. Amazing. All right, Archie. Aquila. As you drag yourself up from underneath this, using your waterbending to hold it in place, you mark a fatigue to the waterbending, and as you pull yourself out, you kind of have to really like fight against the weight of this thing against you. But you do manage to pull yourself free. You can now clear the trapped condition from your character sheet.
I marked, just FYI, I marked angry.
That makes sense.
Because I felt that was the most appropriate.
No, I think that makes sense. And as you sort of pull yourself out, this frown goes across your brow, and you feel the urge to bloodbend building within you. Next up is Rung-Bolo using Evade and Observe. Could you please roll me with creativity or harmony?
I can. Let's
no
go
advancing
with
attacks this
creative
turn. It's so interesting.
I'm trying to make myself feel better. That's an 11.
You can pick 2, my friend.
Well, I'll do bolster, and I will bolster my boy Aquila here with.
So,
what do you need most right now?
Just for context, the person who's looking the most in trouble is Mako.
Oh, it gets Mako.
Mako has 2 conditions
all just
and
kind
4
of forgot he
fatigue.
exists.
Mako is not looking good.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Andrew's not here. It's on him, really.
Yeah, I'm like, Mark, I appreciate you getting me out, brother, and blasting those seas of fire. You burn away those degenerate clothes of the deserters, and I'll give me like what's he need now? He needs to get back some. I'm guessing some
fatigue.
That's what I'm looking for. Fatigue. Yeah, I'll do that one where he gets back
He
fatigue.
clears a fatigue at the end of each thing. He is very grateful for that as you give him empowered, and he will clear a fatigue. Actually, no, sorry, he keeps
That's
it for the
the
moment.
one.
It's the end of the combat. All right, so last up, the enemy NPC.
And then commit. I'll do after that.
Oh, yeah, commit. Shift your balance towards your principles. Which principle do you shift your balance toward?
I shift mine towards care. So it'll be like from like run him in force and get back to care.
Yeah,
That's right.
that makes
So
sense.
get back to the middle.
Yeah, okay, brilliant.
Even.
Alrighty. Oh god, I can sense another petition coming as I look.
No. I'm just talking about the petition.
I'll have to make a character sheet for Aquila first. I will work on that. Alrighty, last up are the Earthbenders led by this woman. I mean, they're kind of a bit surprised this is still going on. Like, you guys are a bunch of children. They shouldn't be having trouble against you, yet somehow you guys are very competently holding them off. Even though this has been a rather tense battle, you guys have been, fairly competently holding them off. She sort of looks towards the 2 soldiers behind her, and I should say bandits behind her, looks back towards you lot, sort of narrows her eyes, and they are going to sort of like take a moment as she calls out to them. Like, all right, take a minute, a breather. All right, we're going to attack from behind. Ready, go. And that's the next exchange. So I can clear a fatigue from Mako, which I have now done. And I will get you guys to pick which approach you would like to use.
I have to as well, because I took that trap the turn before. I didn't. Do I still have to, or not have to mark any conditions?
You are no longer trapped.
What mark it if me?
Marco pulls you
Okay,
out,
that
so
was
you can
cool. So
remove
just want
traps.
to double check. I just want to double check it's how it worked. Sweet.
I'll make a page for you tomorrow, Archie.
No, that's fine. You can do whatever you want.
Make a page for you tomorrow, okay?
Thanks, Dad.
Oh,
Look how
is he
small my
writing
mouth
with
is.
pen and
That's how
paper?
unhappy I am. The smaller my mouth, the more unhappy I am. Make your page tomorrow.
Strong, straight in the pool room.
All right, Marco is going to do that. The NPCs are going to do this. All right, has everyone picked?
I think so.
1 second.
No, do it again. Everyone has to click again.
I did.
because-
Your Honor, I did it. I swear.
No, I couldn't see any
If
evidence
it
of that.
takes too long to like be resolved, it like
So it's
unpicks it.
so it's,
You
so
have
it's
to.
Daddy Owen's fault.
So you're blaming
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
It's an interesting position to take. Mark 6 fatigue and 5 conditions, please, Shurva. No.
I'm just going to say, the UI needs a timer for we know.
First up is Shurva.
Okay. Focus and 9.
Do I need to make a trivia item for Arl? Do I really quickly? Is that what I'm being
He
told?
doesn't currently have
I'm
one, and
not
I
doing-
wanted to put in that he has been known to gaslight people.
I'm not doing enough by running this stream and everything, including the game, but I have to now also quickly make a
Well,
section for
I could figure out how to do it, but I'm trying to pay attention at the same
that's
time.
fair. No, it is also your turn. So do your turn first, and then we'll.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Take a break. Take a break. Go do that.
Take a breather.
Brad, you just dropped out. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
I'll let you know now. Your microphone has as well, if you were wondering.
So,
I love this new camera you got.
It's great. Really fancy.
I will use divert again. So, I take any fatigue
Broken.
for anybody else.
Are you rolled with focus? Yep. So you're at 9. Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Anything else on your? No, that's it, isn't it? Yeah, that's it.
That's me.
Perfect. Next up in the initiative order is Rung-Bolo. I'll now have a trivia
Okay,
section.
so I was going to attack in advance. So that was with double check Passione. Let's go. Bam. Ooh, that's a negative Ghost Rider. It's a 5.
That's a miss, correct? Yeah. Sorry, man. You can move your balance. I know, I just copy and paste it. You can you move your balance away from center to take a basic move anyway, Rung, if you wanted to. Otherwise, you can just take that as a miss and not do anything this turn.
My bounce away from center again. Bounce isn't that bad to move
Where
away
is your
from
balance
center.
right now? You are currently.
It's in middle. It's just chilling. It's back
Yeah,
in the
so then
middle.
you can move it towards force or care, your choice.
Back to force.
Okay,
Calm myself
perfect.
down for a bit.
So you now can take a basic
back
move.
up.
You can do one of your basic moves.
Awesome. So I can just say like do a strike.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course you can. No, because you're doing advanced stat. Yes, of course you can. Absolutely, of course you can.
Yep. Wait, let me double check. I think it's different. So for fatigue.
Did you want to mark a fatigue to force them to mark 2
one
fatigue?
to choose? Yeah, let's do that. I'll fatigue myself to make them take 2 fatigue. Let's do that.
Brilliant. They are not looking good. And what does your strike look like, Rung? How do you strike out with your earthbending?
Pretty much like he's done a bit of time to like sort of seal himself, get those little stones. He had those little stones around him for a bit, in a circle, and not really punched him. So he's like, all right, time to, and just like wrap around the fist, bam, and punch the. Was this one of the military person or the person who was disheveled?
The military person has been defeated, and his 2 lackeys have run off. This is the disheveled woman bandit leading the other 2 Earth Nation bandits.
Perfect. This is going straight towards her. Just big, strikey, stony punch.
Brilliant.
Straight up.
As you punch through, she just gets this guard of earth up, but you punch straight through it, cracking a rib. You hear this audible as she sort of cries out, clutching at her chest as you knock her back.
Yeah, don't roll over. They'll puncture a lung. Yeah, stay still right now. Don't move anymore.
Advanced attack. Mako is also advancing and attacking. Mako is next up. I will roll with Passion for Mako. 7, success with consequences. Marco's plan was to try and also do a strike. Mako is going to try and reach out. He'll just do the normal one because he doesn't have enough fatigue left to be able to do it. That causes them to take that. Mako begins looking towards Shurva, seeing her whip attack from before didn't really work as well. Seeing Rung rushing in and kind of being like, Rung's gonna die if he just stays in there, guys. Like Rung's gonna just. And then calls upon this very focused beam of flame, just this single out from his hands as he sends this jolt of fire towards the center of the group, trying more to put a bit of distance between these earthbenders and Rung more than anything else, but he does manage to do a little bit of damage. That's Marco's turn. Aquila, what would you like to do? You're doing advanced attack. Would you like to roll me with Passion?
Ooh, 12.
12. You can pick 2 of these bad boys.
Are they still trying to sneak up behind?
It looks like they're now getting ready to charge at you guys. Head on. Although I would say that there's kind of a pincer maneuver going. 2 of them are moving around the sides. 1 of them's coming down the center. Looks like they're going to try and like trap you guys in the middle of something.
Oh, hammer and anvil.
Something
It's like
bad.
Total Warhammer.
What's the deal with mastered? Oh, sorry,
Bless you.
practiced.
With practiced.
Yeah, can I? If I'm using 2, can I use because I got 12? Can I use a strike and a?
So as long as they're mastered techniques, you can use 2, and they have to be different basic or master techniques. If it's a practice technique, you can only use 1. If it's a learn technique, you can only use 1.
Okay, can I use a practiced and a normal?
No, you have to pick. You have to do either 1 learned, 1 practiced, or 2 different basic or mastered techniques.
All right, well then I guess I'm gonna try pressure. Pressure, which I choose an approach.
And they can't do that.
Yeah. What's an approach? Oh, that's these.
Defend, maneuver, advance, attack, evade, observe.
So I want to make sure they can't advance an attack.
Okay.
In the next exchange.
That makes sense.
And then I will strike.
Okay, brilliant. Do you mark fatigue to force them to mark fatigue or condition, or just the normal?
Yeah, because I still get that washed
You
away,
lose the
right?
fatigue at the end. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, I'll do that.
What does your strike look like, Aquila?
It's a lot, especially because I'm very angry at the moment. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of being like small blades or anything, it's like quite large, just pummels of water, like almost like spears of water.
Yeah,
like a lot bigger and a bit heavier than before.
Are you kind of striking wildly, giving into that anger and that rage? Kind of sounds like you might.
I think it's like a controlled anger,
okay,
rather than like I feel it coming, but I'm trying to like hold it back. But I'm also like, sort of letting that anger sort of
simmer,
push it a little bit.
Yeah, simmer beneath the surface and empower your strikes. Yeah, as you fling out these lances, the 2 earthbenders who are trying to sort of get around the side, you just bring your hands together and then fling out sideways, pushing these 2 lances of water with frozen tips at them. They each take it to the chest, and with this cry that just drop to the ground. As the woman in front charges towards you, this last lance, you hold this water lance. As you bend it and hold it and jab it right towards her, it stabs into her chest. She just manages to get some stone up to try and block it. It cuts through the stone, and she collapses onto this thing. As she sort of pauses and looks, she goes like, and then drops to the ground.
Yay!
That is no more combat. That is out of combat.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. So,
well done, guys. Orange slices all around.
Mako kind of like looks around and goes, "Are these guys dead? Like, should we check them or like?"
Probably fine.
Nah, that asleep. Pretty sure I see
just having a nap.
Dirt moving by that dude's mouth, and I just earthbend a bit of the dirt, like just dust moving around their mouth, like they're breathing.
I'm pretty sure Aquila can like sense the blood still moving around in their bodies or something.
Daddy Owen told us that I can't feel
Aquila,
that.
Archie, you know for a fact that Aquila can't do that. Aquila, the character, you know for a fact you can't do that.
Yeah.
But if these guys are going to believe it, I mean, you can go with that. You
I
can
mean,
run with that.
I'll
line.
say-
How is Shurva gonna know she's not a bender?
I'll be like,
At this point, he's basically Blade.
Actually,
you can just like see people through the walls.
I'll just be a lot more honest, but not. I'll say, well, I can't feel anything.
Promise I'm not looking at your vascular system. I promise.
I can't feel any blood moving. So.
Oh my god.
It's like
Got some
realistically,
cholesterol by the heart.
Shurva has no bending or anything like that, so she doesn't know what you guys can and cannot do, what you guys can and cannot feel. So technically, you could tell her literally anything about bending, and she's probably gonna either believe you or ask one of the other benders in the group, who will probably back up the claim.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
So-
Yeah, always
straight up say,
tell when
like,
it's a
She's
rock.
pretty
on the
ignorant in that regard.
I can't feel any blood moving, so.
Like,
It's like how you can feel the air, or you can feel the dirt beneath your feet. Imagine you can feel the dirt beneath your feet, but you can feel the dirt beneath that dirt beneath your feet. You know what I mean?
you sound high.
Just trying to like
I like to
untangle
think that,
that
like,
in my
he's-
mind.
He's always a stoner. Stoner thoughts. Embodied.
Marco sort of like pauses and looks and goes, "So who are those like airbenders who took Mr. Library? Mr. Library?
Yeah, Mr. Library.
Who are those airbenders who took Mr. Library?"
There was something weird about their airbender robes.
Yeah, they didn't look like normal airbenders, right?
Darker.
Didn't one of them
Maybe.
say out loud what they were? Remember?
You vaguely might remember.
Can
Unfortunately,
I roll to remember?
What do you roll to remember?
Do you
Let's write
remember?
it down.
Bonus.
Can I bolster his memory?
No, look, I'll be nice. Shurva, you let's say like because you do like you're like, oh, they did say their name or something. Mako kind of like pauses and goes like something about wind, right? Like the falling
Wind
winds,
Waker.
or like the lost wind, or like something like that. Yeah. Oh, it was like the guy. It was like
Guiding winds?
Was it guiding? Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, something like
Old
that.
wind?
Trying to emulate Marco, the
old
way
wind,
Andrew
the
speaks,
guiding
where he like
wind.
half finishes words sometimes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was that.
Just,
Yeah.
what's the dude from Love Actually? He always talked like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, guiding wind sounds right. That's yeah. Do we?
Yeah, the
I feel like
guiding-
Dog
we've-
agrees.
I feel like we've heard that name before.
Yeah, it's like the old. That's like the old people that are like stuck in their ways, aren't they? It's not like a guiding wind, but like an old fart wind, basically.
I don't know. I remember something about that. Like, didn't Al say something about guiding winds, like trying to talk to him, and there was like some airbender, like at the Northern
I thought
Water
he was
Tribe.
talking about like actual wind
Oh, it's hard to know with Al sometimes.
to him.
I feel like I
I
remember.
don't remember, that was like 3 months ago, Owen, come on.
How to talk to Al.
No, remember, it's unlocked a core memory.
It's kind of
He's right.
it's kind of like it's kind of right that you guys would only really vaguely remember this. Like Al mentioned it only in passing to you guys. Al would know a lot more though, because
We'll have to
Dave had a
ask
little bit to
about
do
it.
with these guys. Like Al had a bit to talk to these guys about. So yeah, it's probably like it's probably right that your character's like, oh, like we know who we have to talk to about this, but we don't really remember what it was that they'd said previously. We'll talk to them.
We don't really know their culture. We don't stereotype them or anything, but we're pretty sure we get the gist of what he was on about. But should ask him.
Yeah, what he
Bunch
said.
of old men.
As you guys are kind of like standing in the clearing looking around, that the rest of the bodies are still. The other two that sprinted off before seem to have sprinted off towards the north of where you guys are. And as you get to the edge of the clearing and look down, you can see that there is a narrow stone ledge that has been transformed or earthbent into what looks like almost a very smooth slide down the edge of this precipice and below the cloud layer. Where these guys have run off to, you don't really know.
Can I use some of the water to make it a faster slide than it would be if it was just a stone slide?
Yeah. Technically,
How
yes.
much water do you have?
A satchel?
Yeah, so it's not a huge amount. I mean, potentially.
Like a bottle of Mount
18.
Franklin.
Did you pick up the water that you threw earlier?
Yeah.
Aquila, as
We
you
are
pick
pretty
up
sweaty
the
if we
water
get our
and
sweat.
put it back in your flask, you've lost a bit, like a bit to evaporation, a bit to like soaking into the road. But I mean, you know that there's a lot of water all around you. It's just a bit redder than
feel
other
it.
water.
I could fill it back up with blood.
Exactly, that's what I was saying.
It's clouds. Clouds
There's
are
lots of
bags of
water. Some of it's just a bit redder than
No, I
other
don't want
water.
to. I won't ride the blood slide. I'm good.
The
For once in a
blood
month
slide.
thing, it's fine.
It's like a really cool
The
cocktail.
bloodborne thing.
With like grenadine, the blood slide.
Ooh, blood
it's like a
slide.
mudslide, but with grenadine. Maybe it's like a red velvet mudslide, the blood slide.
Oh,
I might need
that
to make
actually
this.
sounds sick now.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, Halloween.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Right.
So-
Okay, I'll write it down.
So is there any water, like any water sources around at the moment?
As you have a bit of a look, Aquila, you can see there is some plant life around here. Yeah, probably there is a stream or a well, a natural well somewhere nearby. Like
I don't
there are
know.
plants growing here. There must be
Yeah.
water nearby for them to be able to grow.
All right. I mean, well, clearly they've gone down. Like I don't think they would have went to this much effort to not go down this super cool looking slide.
Yeah.
Marco,
Earthbenders only make cool slides for going down.
Slide. You don't go up a slide.
Fact.
You go up
can,
ladders.
You have to really puss buff. They
Marco
won't
kind
buff,
of
so they're
pauses
definitely
and
going down.
leans over the edge of the precipice. Looks like a pretty long way down. Do we even need to follow these guys? Like, well, like the airbender, the air people took no.
Mr. Library.
Mr. Library, yeah, they took
Can I
Mr.
just
Library,
can I roll a rock down it, like just earthbend like a round rock and just roll it and see if we can just hear how long it'll go?
Yeah, of course you can.
A nice big rock, and nice big one. Like, let's just, it has to be big. You have to
Like,
hear it, of course.
Head-sized?
And just let's just listen to it. We roll down. Yeah, head size.
Okay. Yeah,
Nice big,
easily.
like a bowling ball.
Like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily
Yeah,
wrong. As you
roll a
create this
bowling
bowling ball and roll it down the slide, it rolls quite quickly, picking up speed as it goes faster and faster, and then disappears through the cloud layer. For a very long time, you hear nothing, and then this loud crack echoes up through the canyon below you, this fading away. Probably about sort of 15 seconds after rolling it, so a bit of time.
It doesn't really help though, because we don't know how steep the slide was.
No.
Yeah, true. Maybe the slide is maybe it's only this deep.
Maybe it's just like
slide
a
goes
round
really
the
far.
mountain. Or it just goes round and round.
It's Rainbow
It's
Road.
another mountain goat trail.
But they were really
There's-
deep or just
There's that
really
moment of
long and
realization of
windy.
oh yeah, that's actually not that helpful.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I guess we could go find
I
Mr.
enjoyed it.
Library.
Yeah.
Or at least tell
At least-
some people that what we saw, the
Yeah.
fact that, we just watched him
Yeah.
get taken away, that he's missing. We should go talk to the elders.
I agree.
We should go find Mr. Library.
Talk to the elders, and then we'll plan that ahead. Because if we just
Yeah.
run straight down there, Al and everyone has no idea what we're up to.
Yeah, I
So
guess
just
we
sort
should
that
go
part
and let them know.
Because he might be going towards the big bison in the sky, going, "Hey, where are my mates?" And we're sliding down into a canyon. So we should probably tell him.
We should probably also check on Mango.
I suppose. Or we did
You
leave
guys
Mango
did leave
on the
Mango in
bridge.
the middle of a garden eating fruit trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably eating a
Oh, Mango's
lot.
cool.
She's probably feeling kind of sick. We should.
How
check
long?
on
How long has
Sable.
it been? 2 minutes? 5
Probably
minutes?
about an hour.
I doubt she's eaten
Yeah.
that much in an hour.
She's
Just
probably
gonna buy
gotten
some
quite
in an
sick
hour.
off of it.
She's only a couple of 100 kilos. She's probably about 3 ton. To be
Oh,
large
it's like an
enough to
elephant.
carry all of you. She's pretty big.
Yeah.
Ali just got back from Thailand, and I've seen the amount of fruit they give a couple of elephants in banana trees, whole banana trees, and that's just for a day. They have a
Yep.
banana tree or two, and a crate of melons and other things. Yeah, I can imagine this thing's causing carnage.
How heavy is 3
Havoc.
tons?
It's a pretty long trek to get back up
How
as
heavy
well,
is
up all
3
those stairs, so we
tons
should
in
probably start heading back, go find people, tell them about it. Put Mango back in the stables before the stable master gets cranky at us because she's a nasty person.
Can I earthbenders
and also
pull
find Al.
rock slide style up, just on a pillar, just cruising up the side to get back up to the garden as quick as possible?
Yeah, absolutely. Could you please
Probably
roll
something
me
he'd do in the mines a lot.
with push your luck?
Oh,
You're going to try and bring
I'll
the
always
four
push my
four
luck.
of you up. You're going to try and bring Marco with you as well. By yourself, not as hard, but all 4 of you, that's going to be a bit more difficult.
Marco? He doesn't have to come.
Yeah,
He's going to leave him here.
he can walk.
So we'll be
Let's
back.
just attach a rope to him. Where is? Oh, there we go. Roll of passion. Okay. Oh wait, did that not roll it? Okay, so I've actually got a roll of passion to do it. Okay, here we go. It's a negative Ghost Rider.
Oh no!
6.
So Rung, as you go to do this, you get about a meter up. These guys standing on the stone platform. You don't give them much warning from the sounds of it. You're like, oh, can I just make a stone platform? Yeah, all right. And you just start doing this up the side of the mountain. For a start, this isn't where you guys came down. This is on the other side of the tunnel. You don't know where this mountaintop leads to. You actually don't know where you guys are right now. So Rung, as you go to begin pulling this up, you get about a meter or 2 up, and then the stone platform that you're creating, you're used to going straight up and down mine shafts, so you're not accounting for the gradient of the mountainside. You immediately run out a mountain, the stone reaches up, cracks, and you all drop 2 meters down and roll down the side of the mountain, crashing into the bottom. I'm going to need you to mark me a condition, please, Rung, and that condition is going to be probably insecure.
Yeah,
Or guilty.
feels right.
Or guilty. I'd allow guilty as well, your choice. As Mako kind of like dusts himself off and looks, he's like, the fuck?
Insecure's appropriate, I reckon. Well,
The fuck?
listen, the minerals in the soil here are completely different to what I'm used to here. Density's all out of whack. It's all out of whack.
Why were you even doing that? We came through a tunnel. Like, what?
Well, you never know until you try.
Well, okay, we know now.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
tried. Leave him alone, Mako.
Exactly, we tried. Stonework is really good still, okay?
We should just head back through the tunnel and walk back up the staircase that we made to get down here
but
in the
it's
first
so
place.
far.
You have to use our legs, guys, I'm sorry. Just need some more time. Like,
Is there a way
Rough
for us to call Mango to come and pick us up?
Not that you guys know. You don't have a bison whistle.
yip. Whoop, whoop.
We all scream out yip yip and you just see a dozen bison.
A million
flying
bison. The entire population of sky bison on the Eastern Air Temple will take off. You hear these screams
They'll
of like,
just leave.
I'll assume you guys begin heading back through the tunnel
Yeah.
as you get to the bottom of the stone staircase that Rung had made previously along this very like difficult traversal pathway along the edge. Rung kind of like looks at it. Did you want to have another go at your pillar to pull them up the side of the mountainside, Rung, but this time on a completely vertical surface?
Like a little platform that goes
You
up
just-
the stairs.
He'll do it, but like instead of just lifting it at everyone's feet, he'll just like stop on the stairs a little bit. He'll just be like, kick a little pebble. He'd be like, just try it again, see if he can make the platform there to like stick. He's feeling a bit defeated, but he's like rock working, so he's like, I swear, Gus still got it.
Alrighty. Make
That's
me
what
another
we've got.
roll of push your luck,
Alright.
please.
All right, that's with Passion.
Alright.
If he rolled a 5. His
Oh,
attempt
mate.
at this one here is if no one notices it, he's happy.
Probably the insecurity, like the doubts in your mind that are worming away at you, prevent this from even happening. As the others are all standing there, you're like, all right, I've got this, guys. And you like spin your arms a bit, and like the ground shifts a tiny bit. And you sort of like pause a little bit, look around, spin your arms again a little bit. The ground shifts a tiny bit. A little rock like hits the back of Marco's foot, that looks down. You do it one more time. A whole bunch of like sand emerges from the ground and begins, or dust like pulls up around people's feet, gets in their boots, and you just realize this isn't going to work. You're going to have to walk up.
And you loudly say, you know what, we need the exercise anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
Marco, you've been putting on a bit of weight recently, Marco. It's just all that fruit. Sure, you've got to work it off.
Yeah, I was going to call you Beanstalk there. You need to work them calves.
Amazing. It is a much more unpleasant hike up the stairs than it was down. By the time you guys get to the top, you are sweaty, you are tired, and more importantly, enough time has passed that the sun is actually beginning to dip below the sides of the mountain. It's now late afternoon as you guys finally get to the top. Probably feeling a bit out of it, a bit exhausted, and thoroughly underwhelmed by the having to walk up the side of this thing when probably you were expecting Rung to be able to get you out of this, I'd say is probably fair, right?
Yeah, he promised.
Promised. Exactly.
Make a lot of promises.
So yeah, probably at this point, you guys are feeling a little bit like, ugh, this isn't ideal.
Dejected.
Yeah, a little bit. At the top of the stairs, you can see there's a number of air monks clustered around the red stain. And as you guys finally get to the top, 2 of these female air nomads rush over towards you, again, dressed in those long yellow and orange flowing robes, the blue tattoos. As you guys approach, they sort of see you guys looking exhausted, a bit hurt, a bit injured, actually. I think all of you took a bit of damage. So yeah, they sort of see you guys a bit injured, rush over and go, oh my goodness, what's happened? Are you okay? What has happened?
The guiding wilds stole
Winds.
Mr. Library.
The guiding wind. They are here?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they took Mr. Library.
Miss,
So,
who?
The library
Nomu.
man.
Nomu?
Normo has been missing for some
Big, like,
hours. He was supposed to meet with some of our order to go through a review of some of the scrolls in the history section, but he never showed. And then when we found the red stain, we feared it was his blood. What has happened?
No, it's pie.
It was a pie.
Oh, thank goodness.
He didn't look injured, but we saw him get taken away by a bison in a cage.
Some earthbenders stole him first.
Earthbenders?
Earth bandits stole him. And then the guiding wind man stole him.
This is most troubling.
If you want to ask the earthbending bandit people any questions or anything, though, they're kind of knocked out down the staircase through a little tunnel. They're all kind of just laying around, being lazy.
They're just having a nap.
You guys should probably go deal with that.
The older woman nods hurriedly, turns around and calls out to some of the other nomads, some of the other airbenders sort of huddling around the red stain, talking hurriedly. These children have captured some of the people responsible for Nomu's disappearance. Quick, come with me. We will head down and locate them.
Captured is a strong word.
As they pull out their kites. Incapacitated. As they pull out their kites and drop over the edge of the canyon, there's probably a brief moment of like, that would have been nice to be able to do.
Yeah.
As they take off. Yeah. The younger air nomad, the younger air nation monk who's sort of standing there gives you guys a bit of a look and goes, while my master and the other air masters are investigating, do you have somewhere to stay? Who are you? Who are you here with?
We're here with Al.
Al. A student of Sister Tucker.
Yeah.
Yes, I will take you to the hall. I believe that Sister Tucker and Al are still in a meeting. There's a meeting that's been called for some of the airbending masters in regards to the storm off the coast. But I can take you to the guests' hall. You can refresh and wait for your friends there. Does that
sound? Can we detour past the garden?
Oh yes, we will need to walk through the garden.
We
yes.
may have lost a sky bison.
No, it's okay.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure she's in the garden.
We located your bison. Yes, we had to come through the garden to get here when we found that Nomu was missing. There was a bison stripping the trees of all of their fruit. It has been returned to the stables.
Oh, okay.
The bison is fine. The garden may need a bit longer to recover.
That was my next question.
I can help out with watering the garden.
Oh,
with blood.
That could be very helpful. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, blood and bone.
Water,
it picks really good fertilizer.
Just everyday water.
Hold your breath. Everyday water. It's regular old water.
Indeed.
Red water.
That is somewhat troubling.
No. Sorry.
Well, I will take you to the guest hall, and hopefully your friend Al will meet with you soon. If you would please follow me, I will take you there now.
Okay.
Brilliant. And with that, Sister Leah leads you. You didn't ask her name because you never fucking ask any NPCs their names. Sister Leah leads you through the garden where you can see a couple of like trees that have been very visibly knocked down and stripped of leaves, fruit, and bark in some places. There's a massive bite mark out of one of the trees that clearly was a mango tree at one point. Mango has just bitten half of it off in search of more of the delicious fruit that she is named after.
Makes sense.
Sister Leah leads you through the garden back towards the main temple grounds and up a series of steps towards a much smaller outcropping. Inside there are a number of beds laid out with these very thin rice paper walls painted with these beautiful swirling patterns of clouds and open sky, separating them and giving a little bit of privacy that you can then close these off as well. Some of the beds actually look to be taken. You can see there's a couple of air nomads that are sitting down, talking sort of excitedly, poring over a map. Another group seem to just be sort of having a brief moment of quiet, maybe meditating on their bunks. This is where when some of the nomads travel through to visit each of the temples, they are housed here. You may sleep here as well. The bunks on the end, you are welcome to use. That way you will not disturb any of the meditations that are going on.
Thank you.
Have a good night's sleep. Hopefully your friend Al will be with you shortly. And there were 2 others with you as well, waterbenders, correct? If I remember.
Yeah. They wandered off.
They were exploring.
I will see if I can go
Rung,
and
you were with
locate
them for a little while. Do you remember where they went?
You do, Rung, because you weren't here
You
for
know
this
what?
bit, but you do remember. I played.
I was just trying to be careful.
Watering the garden, I was going to say.
I played Rung for this bit. They headed down and followed the stream, hoping to find a well or a waterfall that they could practice their bending. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sleepy. Looking for a well or the end of the stream where there's a collection or a pool of water to practice their bending. It didn't take them too long to find it. Only a little bit further down the mountain, they were able to locate a spring. They then started waterbending. You'd been promised lots of interesting rock to look at. That's why you accompanied them. There wasn't. It was a bit shit. You got bored pretty quickly just watching Oki and Ahini waterbending at each other, and you kind of like wandered back towards the main temple, hoping that you'd find something of interest. And that's where these guys bumped into you and recruited you to go and locate the secret tunnel.
Did Rung
Only
tell them he was
Rung would
leaving?
see 2 women playing in water.
I know.
And he's like, the rocks here are terrible.
Oh, this is all metamorphic. I've got no interest in this. Yeah, they're like stripped down to their underclothes and begin like waterbending at each other, and you're just like, oh, this is terrible. This is awful. I want to see some burly men mining coal.
All right.
I think it is now canon that Rung might be gay. I want to see burly men bending coal. All right, I don't care about these.
I don't think he has
Man.
like any sexuality.
He's just asexual.
Rocks.
Coal sexual.
Asexual, exactly.
Coal
He's
sexual.
metallurgic is what his whole thing is. Coal sexual. I ride the coal train, baby. It's all I ride.
Oh my God. I want a man with skin as black as midnight, as black as coal.
Oh my
Want him the
God.
cough black.
Sister Leah sort of like nods with that information of like, go and find some waterbenders, and goes, okay, I will travel down the stream and try and locate them. Have a good night's sleep.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
Oh, if you need any food or drink before you go to bed, you can head to the meal hall. There will be dinner provided. You can serve yourself. A number of vegetarian dishes will be there for you to just serve yourself some curries, some fruits, some vegetables.
Anything
Rum's like,
non-vegetarian?
it'll do.
Yeah.
You will not find any non-vegetarian foods at the Eastern Air Temple. I am sorry.
Ugh.
Fine.
The trick's to eat more potato.
We do have many potatoes. Yes, there are a number of potato-based dishes. There is a lovely potato dal that you can go and enjoy.
Yeah,
Did you
that'll
call
do.
me?
Yeah, it's good. Dal. Hey, Dal. So
A potato
she's like,
dal.
they'll laugh like,
She just looks at you blankly like,
some mass man, Patty. You're alright.
yeah, give us that long grain rice, buddy.
long man.
Alrighty. With that, Sister Leah kind of like
Anyway.
gives a bit of a nervous laugh, not really knowing what you're saying. Bows and then backs out of the room.
Have you never seen that ad?
Yeah,
They're weird people.
I have. Sister Leah hasn't though. Backs out of the room, disappears. And with that, we will wrap up there for tonight and come back in next week, hopefully with Mako, with Andrew coming back and taking control of Mako, and I think Dave might be back too.
I think he said 2 or 3.
So if we are having
Yeah, he
a
did. I'm just
comfortable sleep, we can clear for fatigue.
Yes, you are having a comfortable sleep. You may clear for fatigue.
What about
Clear for Mako
conditions?
too, shall I?
No, conditions. I was just reading that actually. The only way to clear them is to like
Act on
do
them.
certain emotion things. So like make a personal sacrifice, take a
Yeah.
foolhardy action.
Cry myself
Or-
to sleep.
You can be intentionally absent from a scene and go meditate or have an experience or something like that
Ugh.
instead.
So
Okay.
for
Or
example,
accept guide and comfort.
For
Open
example,
your third
I would
eye.
say that you guys can probably clear troubled by going and eating a good meal around lots of very chilled out, very calm, collected air nomads who are just really calm, chill.
Yeah. Because yeah,
That-
so
that
seek
probably-
guidance from a mentor or powerful figure. So like hanging out with like powerful, wise people
Yeah, hanging out
and
with the
having
whole
just
nation. of, like-
conversation.
yeah. Yeah. Angry and insecure are going to be a little bit harder to clear, but I'd say troubled. You guys can clear troubled from that, and I'll clear Mako.
Yeah, I feel like I'd definitely still be angry over nearly giving in to bloodbending.
I love that the way to get rid of afraid is to just run away.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Can
Alright.
Rung meditate
He's not
on
feeling
his
afraid when you run away.
insecurities after food? Can you like
Ooh.
meditate on his rockiness? Can you be like,
Well,
why
it
do I
also
suck
says
at
have an
rocks today?
experience or an encounter with an NPC. So there's a chance that someone that you speak to at dinner, you could like divulge your insecurities with, and they could give you some guidance around that and kind of help you feel better.
I'm happy to
arguably.
say that you guys are in one of the main locations of the world of Avatar, the 4 air temples, each of the capital cities. Like, these are places of comfort. They're places where you can access people. I'd say that go ahead and clear those conditions. If you like, we'll talk through. So that's true that like insecure probably does work. You could talk to an air nomad and be like, there is no try, only do. And you're like, oh yeah,
Thanks,
so I
Yoda.
I should get out of my head and I should just like do things. Yeah.
I am the rock. The rock is me.
Yeah. I am one with the rock. The rock is with me.
I
Oh my God.
would like
He's
to
going for
try roll. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I should have said before I was rolling, but I didn't want to sound stupid. So I
Roll with harmony.
wanted
Absolute
to
success.
roll guide and comfort, and talk to Aquila, and try to like be like, look, I'm really sorry about the things that I said. Like, you're more than just a bloodbender to us. Like, you fought really, really well back there, and like try to calm his anger down and help him get rid of that. So guide and comfort, if I can basically just on a hit make them embrace the guidance and comfort, and they can clear a condition.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that.
Cool.
That sounded pretty convincing to me.
I'm not gonna bother asking the question like that. I have an option to do because like there's no real questions.
Look, fair enough.
That I
Ignore
Aquila.
that. Ignore that.
Okay.
Just like rolled something random.
While
I didn't-
angry.
I thought I could click it and it would tell me what it is.
So the little information thing up
Oh,
the top of
right.
that corner, yeah. So clearing conditions, it like talks about the conditions and how to get rid of them. So for you, it would have been to break something important or put
Which
someone in
I was
danger.
I was gonna do something, but now I don't have to, so that's okay.
Yeah, so I figured like me being the person who tried to like empower you by like saying like you're a bloodbender, like show us what you're made of kind of thing, and then seeing how angry that made you, like it makes sense for my characters to then apologize and try to be like you're more than just a
Really made
bloodbender,
his
like you
blood
really
boil.
proved yourself back there, like I don't know what we would have done without you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Hey, that
Shurva will
sounded
never
convincing
speak
to
this
me.
way again.
Look, that
dude.
sounded convincing to me. If that convinced you, Aquila, then clear the
Yeah.
condition.
Yeah, done.
You can bloody well do what you bloody well want when you bloody well have to.
Stop talking about blood, it triggers him.
Blood.
So bloody sorry. Oh my God.
Mate, you made one bloody mistake. Oh no.
Oh my God. No. It's catching on. It's contagious.
You're bloody stubborn. Oh,
Alrighty. Well, with that, everybody, as you guys sort of like head to dinner, have a really nice dinner, head to bed. Oki and Ahini join you guys a little bit later. Yeah.
sorry, I also just read on a 10+, if they embrace your guidance and comfort, I may also shift their balance.
Ooh. Do you want to shift Aquila's balance?
Aquila, is your balance in the center at the
Hunched my
moment?
desk.
No, I'm +1 on one of them.
So we can shift that back to center now as well.
Yeah, so you can
What the-
shift him back towards forgiveness.
What does balance do?
So when
There's a whole bunch
we
of balance
have like
moves.
our
Okay.
level ups,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we can unlock our moment of balance on like
Okay.
the next level up. And yeah, it's basically like you get to have like your moment. Like you get to be like, I'm using my moment of balance. I'm going to do this crazy thing, and it has to like succeed no matter what.
Okay.
You do like plus ultra, you know, Manhattan Smash, all that sort of stuff. Like, you know,
Yeah, so
Yeah, you,
I
you
take
like
control.
cast Spirit Bomb
My
or
Hero
something.
Academia.
I like bloodbend the whole
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
I want- yeah.
Yeah.
Marionette.
Stuff like that. Like in Legend of Korra, where the gangster Yakone bloodbends an entire court full of people, including the Avatar. You just do that. Yeah.
Sweet.
It's
Awesome.
like one really big drastic thing.
Yeah. One crazy display of bloodbending. Right, well, that is it from us tonight, everybody. I hope you enjoyed Avatar Legends. We will be back again next week. Now, remember, Pokemon is on this Saturday. Burping. We will try and catch Greninja, the Unrivaled, which is going to be pretty tricky to do. Wish us luck. Hopefully we can catch him. Archie, come on, buddy.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Should be
But
right.
until then, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you guys again soon. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.